Good evening. Hello, I'm Professor McCoy. Welcome back. Mass Effect Andromeda. We kind of jumped in at the middle of the menu music, but I absolutely just absolutely adore the main theme music for Andromeda. Probably even more so than most of the music in the original trilogy. Good as it was, don't get me wrong. Some of the original trilogy had some of the best video game music maybe ever seen. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Maybe that might be a bit of an exaggeration, but still, very good, very very good. Especially once you get to. I was gonna say especially once you get to three, but that's not true because some of the really 80s synthy kind of music from Mass Effect 1 was just amazing, especially tonally. Really set the tone for the game. And then you have absolute winners in the soundtrack for the second game, like the Suicide Mission. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. Incredible like 80s action movie kind of music. And then the third one. I mean, what more can I say? Leaving Earth. Uh, you get Leaving Earth, which is incredible. One of the best video game tracks that I think has ever been written. And then you've got I'm Proud of You, I think it's called. It's Anderson's theme, and it is so good. But even despite all of that, I still kind of think
Pathfinder.
that the title music for Andromeda might be the best single track. Maybe. It's a tough call. It's a really tough call. Anyway, I love it. All I can say. Moving on. Director 10 from A. Bradley. 10. Appreciate the personal interest, but my people are getting twitchy with all the messages you're sending them. I'd like their minds on the job, not being under a microscope. Addison's the one I call. I get it. Site 1 and 2 are still raw for us too, but Prodromos isn't the same. No better way to prove that than to let us do our jobs. Give them space. I'll give you all the footage you need to make it play well back at the Nexus. Agreed? So, on which note, we're going to go back to Site 1 and 2. We're going to go back to do some of these side quests and things, but it's going to be a little while. Probably after the next planet or so. The main reason for that being that the environment of the planet changes pretty dramatically after the next story mission or two, once a lot of the radiation starts clearing up, making a lot more areas more explorable. That's going to make it much easier to get to Site 2. That's going to make it much easier to do that, to solve that murder case. Return the guy's necklace to be with his where his brother died. Things like that. All those kinds of things are going to be far easier once everything's cleared up, which takes a little while, naturally. I actually really like that about how this game progresses. That the environments do pretty dynamically. They're pretty dynamic in terms of they change according to the story progression. Now, not all of them, and not as extremely. Like this one and Vold, the ice planet, are probably the most dramatic because that one the storm is basically clear. It's one massive solid blizzard, literally everywhere you explore when you first get there, and then after you activate the vault and everything, it calms down. Anyway, I've got a guava beer tonight. A wheat ale, brewed with guava and passion fruit. I wish I could remember the brand name. It's called Guava Cart. Wish I could remember what brand it is, but it's actually good. It's really good. I've had their Mango Cart one before as well. Also very good. And after the mango one is basically this color but lighter. It's more yellowish because mango. I was honestly expecting this one to have like a purplish tinge from the guava and passion fruit, but no, it's just a little bit darker. What are you gonna do? From Bradley, everyone, initial setup went by the books and we're operational in record time. Be proud. I am. Now that the first deployment wave is in, I'm giving the all clear to break into the good stuff. We've got a new colony to toast and some lost friends to say goodbye to. Let's go down and drinks raise up at 2000. Bradley. Major Domo. Really? That's the title we're going to go with, is Major Domo. Alright.
Pathfinder. Major Domo Evan Bell Scott. I have headaches so you don't have to. Rather, so Bradley doesn't have to. I've also coordinated with your Ket expert. He wanted me to remind you to find him.
I didn't assign a Ket expert to Prodromos.
Then he's a hell of a self-motivator. Here's the nav anyway. Precision is important.
Majordomo is such a bizarre title for this. It's appropriate. It's exactly what he is. But why is he just not called the secretary? Majordomo has such a courtly air to it. It seems odd.
Any trouble with the Ket?
Clearing the sky cleared it for the bad guys as well as us. So some uptick in hostility was to be expected. We've some tricks up our sleeves. Thanks to the research teams. That only goes so far. Your expert is still out there. He'd have more current information than I.
I like that he actually has body animations, though, to go with his talking, which is... I mean, they're a little exaggerated, but still very good.
Thoughts on your boss?
The old man. He's pretty tied into what happens here. I just pick up the day-to-day scraps. Good at cracking the whip for these science types. Doesn't fall for the details. I hope he's proud. Feels like he's proud.
Thoughts on how the outpost is doing? The planet?
Stellar. We keep it up. We'll make this world...
I'm over
like the
here.
brochures.
I'm over here. I'm we're having a chat, I thought. Anyway.
How did you come to the initiative?
Like many, I was lost and looking for a purpose. That sounds loftier than it felt at the time. I was an insufferable ass. The training for the trip was probably
typical.
enough to cure me of it. But I always took things too far. Didn't know how to stop alienating people until I was the alien. See? Still insufferable.
Yes, insufferable, but I kind of like him. Especially for, again, a wacky outcast like everyone in the initiative. And I kind of like him.
Where'd you launch out of?
The pale blue dot. Terra Prime. Big old boring Earth. I miss that wet dog smell after the first snow melts. I don't know why. What about you? Miss anything?
Scott's pretty straightforward kind of guy, I think. What in the world was that? Yeah, okay.
Things were easier. So much already built. We get to do it all again, for good or bad, I guess.
Better get it right.
Sounds like you left some interesting circumstances.
I miss the family, and maybe they miss me. But that doesn't mean I'd go back. I mean, we can't, but still. I like where I came from. It's a great place to be from. You know what I mean?
I mean... first of all, I doubt family misses you exactly. It's been 600 years. Your descendants, maybe. But great place to be from. Yeah, no, I think Scott's the adventuresome type. Despite the inconvenience of the frontier, he's what the greatest line that he says about this is he spent time. This was earlier, I think. I think we already heard him talk about this, but he spent time guarding a mass relay and always wondered what was on the other side.
I know exactly how you feel. Couldn't wait to be from somewhere.
Like a bullet leaves a gun. Sometimes you just gotta go.
Another time.
Of course.
Right, onward we go. Let's see, where else is there? Whoop! I missed. Alright, anything to scan? I'm sure there will be more. So we still got to finish, like I said, we have, as you may have noticed, we still have to finish going through Prodromos. Chat with everybody, talk to everybody, see what there is to see everywhere. Sorry. Odd. See what there is to see, find what there is to find, talk to who there is to talk to, all that. Scan what there is to scan, of course. Mr. Josephs. I find it troubling that you think I could be swayed from my duty by an offer of credits. I understand Victor Carson is a friend of yours, but that's hardly an adequate reason to release him from cryostasis and send him to Prodromus. Beyond that, from what I hear, you two are a disaster waiting to happen. All I know about the prank you and Mr. Carson pulled on Everett before the journey to Helius. Victor Carson will be released from stasis when I see fit and assigned to an outpost that best suits his skill set. If I hear you've gone over my head and spoken to Addison about this, you'll have me to answer to, Administrator Braca. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, I think that despite it being so civilian and even so informal to a large degree, the initiative has a problem, especially with respect to cryostasis and with respect to colony planning, let's say broadly. And I think that a large part of that problem is the neglect of the social factor of humanity. Humanity, broadly speaking, not just like Homo sapiens humanity, but humanity, personhood. Right? That we are not just rational animals, but political animals as well, and that means that part of what it is to be a person is to be nestled within a particular social fabric, and to just kind of rip that apart and try and reintegrate it in all of these different ways is bound for disaster. So I do think that, I mean, despite the apparent trouble these friends caused, fair enough, but I mean, if that was not a reason not to take them in the first place, I don't think it should be a reason not to reunite friend groups, reunite people, societies, all of this. That is a big concern, a big ethical concern throughout the initiative. Acute insomnia, claustrophobia, an organic underlying cause, suffered mechanical failure, connected to stasis that locked her in the pod. Oof. In several cases of post-stasis anxiety and other related conditions. Well, this is another one. Techies have solved a lot of the physical effects of long-term stasis, but we're clearly seeing the psychological effects run a lot deeper. People aren't just designed to be turned off for too long. We should talk to Hanley about a long-term research initiative. We're first for a lot of things. I mean, yeah, research it and try and figure out what to do about this. So, acute insomnia and claustrophobia, yeah, I bet. I mean, even not just the turning off, but not just the social factor, but also just the turning off. Just you wake up and it's 600 years later. Hell of a thing. Leg fractures. Lost his grip, fell during maintenance work on the roof. Jump jets failed to fire. Compound fractures right leg. Oof. Sprains left ankle. Danger showed allergic reaction to anesthetics. Borrowed August and a couple of engineers to hold him down while I set the legs. Oh, application of foam cast and review. Noisy day, but hopefully an object lesson to the rest of the outpost about jump jet maintenance. Patient's healing nicely. Should be falling off roofs again in a week. Oh gosh. Good to do. Chat.
August said you might swing by. Ryder, yes? Dr. Ramirez. Run the clinic here on Eos. Much better than life as an Alliance medic.
Good to meet you.
I'll guess you're not here for a checkup. How can I help you?
Got a long face.
What's the latest from your clinic?
Usual checkups for first-in colonists. Plus a few cases of dehydration and some blindness. Nothing serious.
I mean, it's a little bit of something.
What's it like living in our first successful outpost?
It's early days, but promising. Everyone pitches in, everyone matters. We know we'll make this work.
Why did you join the Andromeda initiative?
I served in the Alliance as a medic, but let's say I saw one Batarian slave raid too many. I knew August, Bradley, and when he signed on to the initiative, he suggested I consider it. This seemed like a better frontier.
Better frontier than the Attic and Traverse, yeah, probably. Although, who knows, really. We have the Ket to deal with, and we have who knows what else. We're going to be, presumably, at least, I think, meeting another alien species tonight. If we get through what I expect us to get through. A relatively friendlier one, not perfectly friendly, but more so than the Ket. One of really only the two sapient alien races that were new to this game, which again is a little bit of a disappointment. Honestly, I wish they had included more than that. But the fact that they didn't, I mean, a lot of it is again due to weird production issues and all. Still, that said, it's not that weird, though, from an astrographic standpoint. I mean, we are in one small cluster of galaxy. If you think about any of the clusters in the Milky Way, any of the places you can jump to in terms of excuse me, any of the places you can jump to in terms of like a mass relay in the neighboring systems, you almost never find more than one sapient species in a particular cluster. I think the two exceptions are the Turians and the Volus are in the same cluster, and the Krogan and Forcha, I think, are in the same cluster, but they might not even be. So yeah, it's for there to be one native species and one invading species of a particular cluster, the cat being the invaders, that actually does make a lot of sense from from an astrographic perspective. From a game design gameplay perspective, they were banking on sequels. They were obviously banking on sequels where they would expand out. But what are you gonna do?
What do you think of Bradley?
I've known him for years. He was the squad medic when he was injured, and we kept in touch after his discharge. He's a smart fellow, a good lieutenant, but a better mayor. And it bugs him when I call him
good.
August. So I restrict myself to 2-3 times a day.
I'll leave you to it.
Come back anytime, preferably unhurt.
I'll do what I can. All right, before we go talk to August, is this a way in? Anything like that? No. Oops, that didn't work at all. Oh, there's no way in here. It's not up here. Nope, not at all. No way in here. Can I scan the water thingy? No. Okay. All right, so let's get that little eidetic trigger. Let's talk to Bradley. Let's check out stuff over that side, and then I guess we'll head out. Yeah.
Another eidetic trigger, Sam?
Yes, though my memory array remains locked. Additional triggers are required.
Mayor Bradley.
Pathfinder, good to see you. We're busy as anything, thanks to you. Bit dusty, but we can adapt. It's worth it when it's your own.
Let's not drive people too hard. Rough enough getting this far.
Nothing you see here came from cracking a whip. Everyone is just ready. You go do what you need to on the Nexus. Follow that dot. There will be more to do on EOS later. Some key positions: Connor Supply, Ramirez Medical, Abrams Science, Fawkes Engineering. With them and my major domo, we won't end up like Site 1 and 2.
The first two outposts didn't have a chance. It was clear to everyone on the ground.
I saw the brief. I'm making sure every one of our people is eyes wide. You changed this planet, but that doesn't make it easy. We'll use the efforts of those who went before. Good people, every last one. I'd have been honored to fail with any of them.
Looking back isn't a good use of time. We have to keep building.
Keep is generous. We have to start. Real building, not just survival. Oh, and Pathfinder, this is for you. It's our flag. Hang it where the Nexus can see. It's touched the soil of our first outpost in Andromeda. Make it real.
I want to see it. I really want to see it. But I assume it's not actually going to show anywhere. I don't think it is. Actually, it might in Pathfinder HQ. I'm not sure about that. We'll have to keep an eye out and see. We have here quarantine best practices. Everything shipped to the landing pad, especially from off-world. Rather than sealed Nexus supplies, must go through quarantine procedures. New presence on EOS. Don't want to add anything to the ecosystem. Hanley Abrams. If anyone tries to tell me or Hanley that our shipment's a special case, you don't need to bother. Running quarantine twice. Okay, fair enough. Radiation alerts for shuttle pilots. The Vault doohickey may be cleared in the atmosphere, but we still got pockets of high radiation, bad weather. Telepresence update zones 10 to 12 are still smoking hot. Zone 8 is showing a drop. Watcher shuttle's radiation shield absorption. They can take about 90 millisievert? Is it millisieverts? I think. Per hour. Safely. Anything more, and you'll need to head back for a refit. Remember that you are carrying that if you're carrying power cells or radiological equipment, those can throw your readings off. Make sure you're as safe as you think. Flight schedule, weather monitoring, geographical survey flight. Sign up earlier, you lose your equipment slots. Retrieving team, Sigma plus plant specimens, high altitude atmospheric, or OBS with time slot. Observation with time slot for astronaut survey. Okay. So yeah, they're doing a lot of exploration-y type stuff, more so than just building type stuff. Which at this stage does make sense. This place, really all of them, are going to need to be something like production facilities of some kind or another, whether that is agricultural and or industrial. In addition to any kind of, research and development, it's still going to have to produce things. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Otherwise, this whole initiative's not going to work. This is my only way I can get word out before someone gets killed. My crew, my work crew, they keep talking about remnant tech. They think the initiative's lying about how dangerous it is, that a couple of electrodes in the right place might get the remnant to work for them instead. They tried before, and I helped out in medbay when those remnant observers carved up Barty. But Jennings says we could live like kings if we had an army of remnant bots working and fighting for us. He's taken the whole work crew to help us to help him this time. I have to go with them. Maybe I can talk Jennings out of it, but I can't. Someone should know why he didn't come back.
Someone left a warning. Looks like a work crew.
Where? Is it in the heavy radiation zone? Huh. Doesn't show. Oh. Alright, I can check the med station here to see where it
That's an incredibly bad idea.
Work crew rosters are posted publicly.
The datapad mentioned medbay. A little work, we could find where to catch up with them.
There's our research center. Can wait on that. Don't actually need anything right now. Some things I would like to have, but nothing I really need. I've been thinking about my loadout, honestly, and I'm thinking, with that Harrier assault rifle, it is a not particularly quick firing, semi-automatic assault rifle, which tells me that it probably, I should complement that with a relatively high rate of fire, submachine gun. Submachine gun, maybe keep the pistol, or maybe switch to the Sidewinder if I can manage to research it enough. And then eventually I'll get a nice Helius assault rifle. Okay, water course repair team. Course damage sheet. Weather monitoring device setup. Jennings, Varix, and Kasperek.
Work rosters. That datapad mentioned the name Jennings. Here, Axel Jennings. Assigned to set up weather monitoring devices all over the desert. Too many locations to check them all.
We need to narrow it down. Despite not saying that.
Right.
This definitely treated wounds caused by a remnant. That datapad said the work crew tried to control them.
Sand particles were removed from the wound. Analyzing. Comparing with locations from the work roster, it's likely the injury occurred near a monolith.
Let's go.
Okay, well the monoliths are more or less cleared up, so I think we can just do that before leaving. Well, there's a monolith. Actually, wait, can I fast travel? I can, and I will. I will fast travel. I will make use of that. Wood coffee. Alright, nomad time.
Radiation levels increasing. Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface. Radiation within safe levels.
No sign of that work crew, but someone left their gear behind. Wait, I've got an open comm channel.
Easy money. Once the electrical charge builds up, we'll have ourselves some nice obedient remnant.
You better be sure this time, Jennings.
If you're that spooked, go hide behind the four giants. I'm busy.
Damn it, we've got to find them before they get themselves killed.
4 giants. Oh geez. Yeah, that's out there, alright.
Gil has tuned the Nomad perfectly for EOS.
We're outfitted best we can be.
This place is a strain on our gear, but so is everywhere else.
Yeah, I'm out. That's out in a very heavy radiation zone, so this is gonna be rough, but I think we'll be alright. Four giants is out this way. This is those big pillars. What's this? Something to...
Earth had formations like this. Made a lot of kids think of alien worlds.
Water and weather. Nothing tougher in the long run. Help us! Please!
Hey, oh, jeez. Ow. Hey. Hey, dumbasses.
Great timing. Thanks for the assist.
Your experiment with the remnant didn't work out.
Huh. Okay, who squealed? Gasparic? Yeah, I bet. These remnants
You're
plow
welcome.
our fields, protect us from the Ket. You control them, why shouldn't we?
I have a super intelligent AI and enough experience with the remnant to be careful.
Jennings, this isn't working. We tried.
Fine. But you can't protect us all the time, Pathfinder. Out here, we need every edge we can get.
You're right. Completely right. But this is like the worst way of going about it. This is unfathomably dumb. Oh. Wait, is that Nilkin? That murder? Oh, it was all the way over there. Okay, no, let's get the heck out of here. Mining zone. Not now. Couple of lootables. The dead guy. With a couple of dead people. Let's travel back to Prodromos. And then get out of here. Glad we took care of that. I like time-sensitive missions, by the way. Especially because most missions probably should be more time-sensitive than they are. And so I appreciate when there are missions that where it actually matters. Like, there's a ticking clock, a literal clock that's literally ticking. I like that kind of thing. Oh, wait. Do that. Nexus or VidCon. Let's do that first. Let's talk to them via VidCon. Guys, we're going on to the Tempest. And I want to play with the VidCon. We haven't used it yet. Let's get out of here.
Ascent is go.
Leaving Atmo. All clear.
Nice. Good cup of coffee. All right.
Before the meeting gets started, I have bunk assignments for PB and Drac.
Already put my rucksack in the kitchen. I'll hang out there if that's okay.
And I'm in one of the escape pods. More my speed.
That's fantastic. Welcome aboard. Any thoughts, Ryder?
This isn't a military vessel, but there need to be rules. Better to ask about protocol. Let's talk about our success on Eos. Besides establishing our first viable outpost, we did some amazing things. We discovered the Remnant and breached their vault.
And didn't get killed.
Overcame radiation poisoning a number of times.
And didn't die.
Confronted by Ket at every turn.
Once again, did not get killed.
You guys really need to raise the bar on what you call success.
Yeah, should we use the Krogan definition of success that got your homeworld nuked by your own people?
Fair enough.
Let's focus. Back to the task at hand. Looking forward.
Exactly. Here's my only question. When do we hit that next vault? It looked active. We have to get on that.
Hang on, hang on. We need to not go off half-cocked.
There are initiative priorities. The team calls the shots.
Actually, the Pathfinder calls the shots, just to be clear.
So what do you need from us, Ryder?
Just stop fighting, guys, please. I know we're all, old enemies here in some cases, but
let's be kind and give each other the benefit of the doubt. Finding a home for tens of thousands in this hellscape is stressful enough without adding dysfunction.
You got it, boss.
Okay.
If Krogan are known for one thing, it's getting along.
I mean, you can
not
try.
Humility or self-awareness.
Okay, let's head back to the Nexus. PB, Drac, see Lexi for a physical. Good meeting, everyone.
Jesus.
Prepping
They do
for
a good
core
job.
communications.
Oh. How does that work? Movements. Oh yeah, I know that. I will say, like, I really appreciate that they really make you feel for Ryder here, where he is wildly in over his head and absolutely nobody respects him. And a large part of his path through this game is gradually earning the respect of his team, but also everybody else, right? The Nexus administration, the various other groups that he finds and interacts with. Like, at this point, the only person really who really respects Sam or respects Ryder is Sam. I kind of Bradley, yeah, kind of Bradley, but more Sam. That's kind of it. Which, man, that's rough. That feels rough. Poor Ryder. Poor little Scott, you know. All right, let's talk to Tyrion Candros.
Hello again, Ryder. Taking an interest in my strike teams.
What are they?
Assault and extraction squads. When we need the best, I have Apex, combat experts who've signed up to defend us. Since you have a front row view of the cluster, I can give you authority to dispatch them.
What situations should they handle?
This is the multiplayer,
civilian
basically,
outposts
by the way.
holding key positions, or just distracting the cat. Authorization complete. Good luck. Kendra out.
This is basically the, first of all, the passive income generator thing, but also this is the what's it called, the multiplayer tie-in. As you can see, so what we have here are, let's get through this. Basically, you have a bunch of these teams, and you can send them to get what are basically loot boxes down there. And then these are the ones where you can do in multiplayer. You can actually play it in multiplayer and get these various loots. What's one gives me data? This one. Send a strike team. I have some very good strike teams, by the way, from previous playthroughs. Hold on. What's the key intelligence component? Cat, no room for error. Plus 10% effectiveness with no room for error. Yeah, let's send our newbie team. They have a 90% chance of success. I think they can handle it. It's gonna take a while, but we need some data. We need research data. It'll get cat research data, which, yeah, but fine, whatever. Might as well. There's also, I think there's an app that I don't know if it still functions that lets you just kind of do this off when you're not playing. And then you can just collect everything after the fact. All right, so let's do our, actually wait, let's sell our junk. Sell all salvage. Firm. What do we have here? All weapons. Consumables, nah. Materials, if I need them. Decryption keys, I don't need them. Let's check our R&D really quick. Weapons. I actually don't like the X5 Ghost, and I wasted a lot of research on it. Hurricane is good, but it's really inaccurate. Like, incredibly inaccurate. What else we got? Sorry, sword. I eventually will want a better cupboard. What is the Hornet? Free-run burst now, Talon. Forgetting what was the really good submachine gun. Falcon? That's an assault rifle. I love the Sidewinder. I love the Sidewinder. Just look at that. Just look at that thing. Oh, so nice. Yeah, let's try... submachine gun with plasma surrounded projectiles. Increasing fire rate. Lanat. Not great. Savoir. Oh yeah, that one's actually pretty cool. Slash. No. Equalizer. Ooh. I actually might make that. I might make myself one of these. Fires high energy particle blasts that lose coherence and become ineffectual over distance. Short range equalizer does not require reloading, but will overheat from continuous use. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna see about. Required level 70. Really? I'm not high enough level. Oh my, that's insane. All right. I really want the Sidewinder. I can't afford it though. I need to get a much better. Where is it? The Albert. I can't afford the next level still. Jesus. Okay. Let's make us equalizer. Make this equalizer. I need more kinetic coils. Need to remember that. Double mod. No. Field bypass units. Combo damage. No. Tonian multiplier. Weapon force. No. Or no. Sorry. Power force. Weapon damage. Good, but onto its duration boost module. Go with Battlefield Assist. Hey. No, what else? Right, I'm going to stick with what I have otherwise. I'm going to go equip that.
Where's my data pad? Oh, how...
Actually, let's make this the halberd, and this the viper. I need stability. Quick receiver will be fine for that. Bigger magazine. Long barrel. No, not clip size. Don't really need a receiver. No, I don't want to reduce clip size. melee optimizer, and barrel. This I should get a receiver, right? I don't have a receiver. Yeah, there we go. That's better. All right, sweet. Confirm loadout, yeah? Oh, wait, hold on. How about armor? Oh, no. SWAT. Armor. Oh, I just kind of wanted to recolor my armor. That's what I wanted to do. And I think I could do that in the cabin.
Wasn't I? I do that sometimes.
Yeah, apparently. Oh, jeez. From Dr. Aridana. Families of my lost expedition asked me to convey their appreciation to you for finding their loved ones. It's always difficult when we lose people, but knowing what happened will help them begin the mourning process. If your next excursion has a happier ending. Thank you. So, also from Aridana. Hello, Ryder. Forgive the intrusion. I have an issue that you and Sam should be able to readily solve. It may assist in my investigations into the Scourge. We could discuss it in person at the Nexus Labs. Okay, check that out. From core of the vault, I can still smell that remnant vault on my armor. Lots of weird shit down there. Like my Huntress manuals would say, the razor's edge between known and unknown teaches you what can be cut away. Now that I think back, it reminded me a little bit of the temples on Thessia. Same huge spaces and running water. Same sense of a huge purpose you can't really understand. Makes me wonder if we'll ever really know what the builders did there. Aura. Why couldn't you just say that, like, out loud? My cabin is literally right next door. From Callow, hello, Ryder. I'm pleased to report the Tempest is operating at peak efficiency. So now that you're in command, I thought I'd share a few secret shipboard hacks that the designers and I sneaked into our code. Just send the code JCSB through your Omni tool to open the debug command menu. Gib all dispenser lets you use the coffee dispenser in the galley unlimited number of times. Water temp override overends the normal hot water ration. Jump wash queue, put your clothing ahead of everyone else's in the auto laundry cycle. Enjoy. And don't share them around. Callow. Wonderful. From Suvi, I've attached my paper on Helius soil in case you are looking for some light bedtime reading. Once again, I'm so honored to be here. Suvi. Server message. The attachment Helius Pedology, SNYAIT, has been categorized as spam and is now quarantined. Well, yeah, because it's like a few hundred pages long. About your dad, Drac. Petra told me what happened to your dad. I've lost a lot of people over the years. Figured you could use some cheering up, or at least a distraction. This usually helps me. Drac has attached 37 images of various rifles and shotguns. 2 are duplicate images. Many are low-res or watermarked. Drac. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Drac. It means a lot.
Scans of the Scourge. All that dark energy twisting and turning on itself. It's splendid.
I suppose it is a rather darkly beautiful phenomenon.
Darkly beautiful. I like that. Helius is incredible, isn't it? Not just constructs like the Scourge and the Remnant Vaults. Just all of it. So alien. A constant reminder of the divine intelligence behind all creation.
Let's keep listening and see how this goes, because this is an interesting conversation.
You mean a god?
Yes, I believe in a higher power. I know it's a little odd, but I am a scientist because science brings me closer to something greater than myself.
Okay, so let's actually think about this, because I think this is another instance of BioWare trying to make a sort of religious character, but only really making somebody who is at most spiritual but not religious, to use the term. From at least in the Mass Effect series, we've had Suvi and we've had Ashley as explicitly believing in the divine, but neither of them had any particular religious affiliation or even any particular theological beliefs aside from a very, very generalized belief in something higher, which is a little odd given that we know from sort of background source material that at the very least Catholicism is still thriving, at least on Earth and among humans. And so it seems very odd to me that we would have no religious characters, even if we have something like spiritual characters like this, characters with a belief in a higher power, it's just that it is a very distant and abstract belief. And this, I think, just tells me that something like that the folks at BioWare don't quite understand religion as it is taken seriously by religious people. They understand religion as something like as a social force, and we see that in the Dragon Age series. And they understand it as a kind of privately held belief, which is again a very Protestant notion, for that matter. But what we don't find is a deeply held but properly organized intellectual belief in higher power and everything associated with it. And that's a little disappointing, but again, it's good to see that there is something there's something vaguely religious, or at least theological, going on here, but I wish it were deeper. That's all. Anyway.
There's something about coming face to face with something wondrous that makes you want to believe.
Wow. It's wonderful to meet someone who understands. I've had to justify myself so often, as if having faith in the divine invalidated my work as a scientist, as if this sacred could be diminished by the search for truth.
I mean, look, something that this is the well, I mean, it's kind of the 22nd century. It's technically the 27th, 28th century. But socially speaking, it's the 23rd. It's the 22nd century. The belief that science and religion are in any way contrary to one another, I don't think it could possibly last another 150 years. There's no way. It's barely 150 years old at this point. This idea that science and religion are in conflict was more or less an invention of the late 19th century, mid to late 19th century. With Great Awakenings in the U.S. and associated movements in England among like know-nothing parties and things like this, basically a fideism. And this was a very novel development, this idea that science and religion are opposed to one another. I cannot imagine such a belief being anything like prominent 150 years from now. But maybe that's my own sort of chronological snobbery showing, because again, you hear atheists saying the very same thing about, well, religion won't exist in another few generations. I mean, everyone's been saying that since the Enlightenment, at least, but they've all been hilariously wrong. It goes from Voltaire through every atheist up until, I think, most recently and most prominently, who said this? Somebody like, was it Richard Dawkins? One of the new atheists said something to that effect, and it was just as silly then as it was when Voltaire said it several hundred years ago. And maybe for me to say that, well, I think that this idea that religion and science are opposed is going to die out relatively shortly, and is, frankly, I think already kind of dying out a bit. Maybe I'm just as naive, perhaps. I can't be as naive. That's impossible. But maybe I'm naive too. I hope not. I certainly hope not. Now, also, another note. The options that we're given down here for writers' responses, I hate both of these. One of them is the fideistic response. You don't have to justify it. This is the idea that belief in a higher power is something that is simply and directly voluntary. That is voluntaristic. It's not rational. It's not rationalistic. It's not based in it doesn't have justification. It doesn't have epistemic justification. And so why would it? We don't expect such a thing. And to not expect such a thing is to dismiss it, really, is to dismiss the idea. Whereas the other option, I like a diverse team, is basically saying, thinking of it as a kind of one option among many rather than a rational conclusion. That's like saying that, believing in God is similar to being, human or female or having red hair. It turns it into a sort of identity category rather than as a propositional belief or as a set of practices or anything else that religion or theological belief ought to be. So again, I think that both of these are crappy options, and I've kind of thought these were crappy options since the first time I played. I think it's interesting and neat that Suvi is as sort of the chief science officer is the spiritual, at least, and the theological character the crew. I think that's cool, but at the same time, the way that it's handled here is really sloppy and really secular progressive, let's say. Because even the I Like It Diverse team is a very secular way of looking at it. That it looks at religion as a sort of in the context of a religion or a belief set is one option among many. It's like one, it's like an item on a menu kind of thing, which I've talked about before, being utterly dismissive of the serious ideas that would otherwise be presented. So I think I'll go with. Don't have to justify it. That's probably the first of all, that's more like Scott's answer, I think. He's Wonder Boy. Boy of wonders. So I think that's more Scott, but it's also probably just the better answer of the two anyway. It takes it slightly more seriously, even if it is a bit fideistic.
I wasn't questioning your abilities. You never have to justify yourself to me.
Thank you. I appreciate you saying that, truly. Now I should probably update the rest of the team with my latest reports. We'll talk later.
Sure. Alright, how are you doing, Callow?
What can I do for you?
If you helped to build the Tempest, you must know plenty about her.
Just about everything. By memory. It was quite the effort to get her working. The initiative needed absolutely up-to-date technology, which we all had to coordinate, and some of it was rather tricky to acquire.
Acquire?
Buy. Legally and above board, of course. Yes. Sadly, the other Pathfinder vessels were lost when the Scourge hit the Nexus. The Tempest is truly unique.
Alright, that's really disappointing. Man. That's actually that raises another, I think, big problem with Andromeda, just from an in-universe narrative perspective, maybe, let's say, that there's a distinct lack of large-scale spacecraft. Or I guess not true. There's a distinct lack of mid-scale, medium-scale spacecraft, because you have shuttles, then you have arcs. It goes from like crew of 1 to 2 up to crew of thousands, with nothing in between. This is the only craft that fits the sort of runabout category, or maybe even the not Corvette. Was it be Corvette? Yeah, Corvette category. If it were an armed military vessel, and that's the other thing I got a problem with, is that the Andromeda Initiative jumped galaxies without bringing a single ship-mounted weapon. That is insane. Absolutely insane. We'll see why it's insane pretty shortly. Anyway, we'll get to that, though. We'll get to that.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Well, I can't talk about Suvi. She's sitting right there.
I'm not listening. You can say whatever you like.
Oh no, I'm not falling for that again.
Okay.
You know, I haven't actually met many Solarians.
Careful. Depending who you ask. We're conniving spies, genius researchers, or meddling scientists. We have to pack a lot of living into 40-odd years. Everything gets accelerated. Lines blur. I just hope we don't repeat our old mistakes out here.
I'll let you concentrate.
Yeah, you've had a few.
You know where I'll be.
You have had a few mistakes, that is.
You're setting up in here, huh?
Yeah, I'm going through what we got out of that vault. If I can crack this data storage box, it'll help with a personal project back on the Nexus. This is a nice, out-of-the-way place where I can tinker, and I can sleep anywhere. It's not exactly homey, but I like that about it. Not really looking for a home. Oh, but I will help you find everyone a home. While I'm with you, at least.
Should I consider you a temporary addition?
Everything's temporary, Ryder. I get it. You want to know who's on your ship, so you're here to figure out what makes me tick, right?
Something like that? Sure.
Well, I was born in a log cabin on rural Haitiana to simple but loving parents, just trying to... I look forward, not back, writer. Why snooze through my life story? Get to know me out in the field while we're uncovering the mysteries of this galaxy. That's why I'm here. Got tired of yawning back home.
You left everything and everyone you knew because you were bored?
No, I came with someone I knew. Then she got bored with me. Writer, the Milky Way was so... been there, done that. Even if I hadn't done it, someone had. If there's one thing you should know about me, it's that I live for the unknown. For the never been done.
Alright, I buy... No, I actually do buy that. I buy it.
Well, congratulate yourself. No one has ever so successfully dodged my attempts to get to know them.
Yes! I'm number one! Buy me a drink sometime. Who knows what will spill out of my mouth.
Jesus.
Then again, I need remnant scrap. Remtech, I call it. For projects like the one I mentioned. Which you're gonna love, by the by. Promise to bring me what you scrounge, and I'll submit to all your questions.
Remtech, huh? You got it.
Well, alright then. Like I said, she has... I've said this before. She has her moments where she's not utterly insufferable. I actually don't think she was that bad there. That wasn't so bad. It was not so bad.
Our tech lab is an engineer's dream. It's perfect for any delicate technical work.
We went over that, I think. Didn't we? Anyway. Let's see what Cora's up to.
Nice place you found.
Clean air, plants, helps me think.
Something on your mind?
Maybe.
Your biotics always do that when you're maybe stressed?
I got it. I'm good. I don't normally lose it like that. A huntress should have better control.
Huntress?
Another term for an Asari commando. I was one, before the initiative. Some things stick, though. Like losing the old man.
You look awfully human. Let's... Okay, so this is the meme. Well, one of the memes. There were so many memes about this game. But this is the meme where this is all she ever talks about, which isn't true. But it is a major aspect of her character, so let's go with it. Let's dive in.
How does a human soldier get to serve with Asari?
Prove your biotics can rip an APC apart, and people get nervous. Funny that. The Alliance found me a cross-species military initiative in a hurry. Sent me to Thessia to serve with the Huntress unit. One of the few places where my powers were welcomed. Your father made another one.
You were his second in command. Were you friends, too?
He was more a mentor than a friend. Prickly old bastard. But I respected that. People treat geniuses like they're made of cut glass. I didn't care how smart he was. I think he liked someone not caring.
There's a lot of loss going around. Dad, the Golden Worlds.
A friend and mentor who trained you to be a Pathfinder. I said I wouldn't get in the way. And I meant it. But I prepped for years as your father's second. Then he chooses you? An untrained Pathfinder and all this mess to fix? What the hell was he thinking?
Is this going to be a problem, Cora?
I don't want a rival. Just answers. It's done. Best I can do now is be your second. Keep your father's mission alive. Then maybe we'll all get what we came out here for.
Let's move in this direction, though not irrevocably.
You, me, side by side? I like the sound of that.
Don't be charming when I'm mad at you.
Are you? You're not glowing. Blushing, maybe.
Look, there's still the mission. A lot of dreams to fulfill.
So what brought you out to Andromeda?
Biotics like this. Thinking like an Asari huntress. I never had a place. Best I could be was a useful freak. The initiative was meant to be different. Will be different if this mission succeeds. So I'm seeing it through. It's quiet in here. I can keep the plants watered while I work. First job, See if there's any news on the Asari Ark. If they made it, we could use some Asari expertise. If you want to talk, I'll be here.
Okay, cool. She's right, first of all, that we could absolutely use Asari expertise. I know that, like, one of the major things about Asari is their biotics, but that's not the most important part. They're also massively long-lived, and because of that, they have an extensive amount of expertise compared to almost every other species. They are, bar none, the best.
I'm in the armory.
The best scientists, the best, for the most part, the best philosophers. They're smart, very smart.
Pathfinder making the rounds.
So finding more of them is a very good
Slumming
thing.
it, huh? Want to see how the riffraff are making out?
Hey, this is the most important part of the ship.
Whoa, don't tell me they put someone smart in charge for a change. I am at your command.
Just want to see how things are going with the ship.
I can coax more out of this baby than some might think, but we shouldn't go too far or push too hard between Nexus stops. For now. It just feels good to be stretching our wings, you know? Locked and idle too long, you start to drift. People, same as ships. Stuck on the Nexus, gotta say, I was regretting joining the Initiative.
I doubt you were the only one.
Yes, but it's a new thing for me, regret. I tend to live the way I work. Kind of feel it, do it. Not a lot of close ties, no real sense of purpose. Figured maybe I'd find my true calling in Andromeda. Then I got here and, oops, I just made a decision there's no turning back from. I was going nuts on that station. You can't know how jazzed I was when you showed up.
You mean how jazzed you were that a Pathfinder showed up?
Tomato, potato. You just keep pointing this ship wherever you want it to go, and I'll make sure she can get there. Deal?
Deal.
Alright. Cool dude. I like Gil. Alright. Let's head down. Liam settling in.
Pathfinder, help me with something? I know, not exactly standard. Gotta make the space comfortable. Plus, the fabric diffuses the charge from an overclocked Omni blade. Not giving up a 6% boost, right?
Someone brought this to Andromeda?
It was new when we left. It's been a hard year. So, finally time for that beer? And after 2 years and a
It
dozen
was new
suspensions,
600
that's
years
collateral
ago.
promotion out of the force. Being a cop just didn't fit. But crisis response? Digging people out of trouble? That worked. I bet Hustle followed you into a few peace actions. Think about your Alliance days much?
I wanted adventure and mystery at the edge of known space. There was so much to see. Seems like a long time ago.
600 years, give or take. So, Pathfinder. Why Andromeda?
That blunt, huh?
That blunt.
I mean, it's something.
I hoped my Alliance career would lead to adventure, exploring, hunting dangers in the dark. Didn't happen. Couldn't. But here, everything's new, and I want to see it all.
Ah, I don't hear idealist a lot. Everyone's cynical.
Back at you, Costa. Why'd you come?
I want to say I'm running from my past, but really running from myself. That'd be a great story. But it's bullshit. I had family, friends, a good enough job, nothing was wrong. I just heard about the initiative and I believed in it. I believed in a new beginning. Still do. I have to. We're in it.
Yeah. I mean, that is so bizarre, honestly. I get it, kind of. That he saw something that he just had to do, but he's basically the only one out of the whole crew, and basically out of everybody we've talked to, who wasn't some kind of a wacky social outcast. And came over here to start over and start something new. and yet he is absolutely the most wacky and outcast type person out of at least the main crew. We'll see about that. Man, oh boy, is he Erica, give us some thoughts about Liam.
If it all goes wrong, it could feel like we left for no reason.
I know why I'm here. A bad start can't change that. I won't let it. In crisis response, I'd focus on essentials. That's you and this team. Pathfinder leads to planets, leads to people. You've got your part covered. You've got this. I'll do my damnedest to help with the rest.
All right, all right. This is response. Abavetra.
Oh, hey, Pathfinder.
The Pathfinder's there? Let me say hi.
Fine, but don't embarrass me. Ryder, this is Sid, my sister. Sid, Ryder.
Let me guess. Little sister?
Who are you calling little?
Look, kiddo, gotta go.
Wait, Ryder, I just wanted to know if...
So I know it feels like I just jumped aboard your ship without explanation.
Now's as good a time as any.
No. I know that I can be of use here. I know everyone on the crew, even the actuators Guild prefers for the ship. Better, I know how to get my hands on them. With me around, your crew's going to be at their best. We've been failing for months, Ryder. Now that we have you, we have a chance out here.
We need people with skills, and it sounds like you've got many. Welcome aboard.
Yep, making deals to get the things you want, shooting at the things you don't. That's me. We all have a personal stake in this. If it keeps going the way it's been, we're all dead. I should track down a lead for Gil's actuators. Back channels, you know. We'll chat later?
Yeah. Vetra, on the other hand, is actually nicely stable. I mean, despite the issues with her sister, that we'll approach, she is the most stable and level-headed member of the group, probably. Cora might be. Oh my god. Yeah, okay, so here are Erica's thoughts on Liam, and he's okay. Erica says, unhinged, dangerous, impulsive, hubristic, prideful, rebellious idiot. Also a traitor and deserves execution. Not an intentional traitor, though. That's the only tiny upside. Tiny little upside. He doesn't consciously or deliberately betray the initiative. He's just incompetent. So yeah, we'll see how this all shakes out. But I tend to kind of agree. He's probably my least favorite character. Not just because he's kind of boring as a person, which the starting human sidekicks usually are in Mass Effect games, honestly. But beyond that, he's like I said, he's like Erica said, he's impulsive to a very dangerous degree. Dinner tonight, no entry. Sorry, everyone. Forgot we were taking turns and half the rations aren't unpacked yet. Callow. I covered Callow. There's soup in the galley. Dextro and Levo for me. And fruit cocktail. And to think we might have left poor without you. I found a mug yesterday near the biolab. Nice one with a magnetized base. He left it sucked sideways to a bulkhead. Cora. That's mine. I just put it down for a sec while my hands were full. Subi. Next time, maybe empty it first. Come on, guys. Drac and PB are officially on the team. I finished the assignment paperwork for the Nexus. I had to fudge a few details, but you're both officially members of the Pathfinder team. Welcome. And Drac, just wanted to check in publicly about what I said, Cora. Drac says, relax, Harper. The best headbutt is always the one you don't see coming. I'll keep that in mind. Oh, well, that's good. A headbutt is always welcome by a Krogan, I think. Unremorseful, accidental idiot of a traitor. Yeah, that sounds... Yeah, fair enough.
Quit worrying, Rushan. It'll be
Rushan.
fine.
Said that he'd do it again. Space him.
Yeah, got all my
This is getting
stuff
worse.
here. And your repair kit, spare parts. I carry that emergency kit you put together all the time.
Good. I'll check in with you later.
Oh, Drac is geriatric.
Don't give the Pathfinder too much trouble. Oh, Roshan.
Who are you talking to?
Kesh, Nexus Superintendent, thinks she can boss me around just because she's my granddaughter.
I like the no trouble plan. How about we stick with that?
Kesh said not too much trouble, kid. Not no trouble. You can't make
It's
sure
fair, I
some
guess.
trouble's always coming for you.
That's not reassuring.
Life out here ain't reassuring. You'll get used to it.
Is that all you brought?
You travel lean when supplies are tight and you're on your own.
Your people had to know what it'd be like when you left the Nexus.
We did, but there weren't a lot of options. After the mutiny happened, it was either buckle under Tan's rules or start our own colony. Easy choice. Bad consequences all around.
Not all Krogan left. Your granddaughter stayed.
Good thing she did. Without my Rushan, you wouldn't have had much of a station to tie your ship to. As for me, I'm way more useful out here. Lots to shoot at, for one.
Your people come first.
I get it.
Keeping Kesh and our colony safe will always be my top priority. That's why I'm happy to tag along, help make this galaxy a little more hospitable.
Can't argue with that.
I mean, I get it. It's, I get why they left, even if it was probably... Knowing what we know about what is to come, it was probably a bad decision.
The blue give it away? Habitat 7 was a little more action-packed than Harry bargained for. He decided to spend his retirement years on the Hyperion looking after your sister.
Happy to have you, Dr. DePero.
I'll do my best. Now, hold still.
Ow!
Sorry.
I remember you having a gentler touch.
Still trying to get my bearings. Thought I'd be waking up colonists, not taking care of the Pathfinder.
I couldn't be in better hands.
I just stabbed you.
We all have off days.
I always hoped to work in the field, but everything's happening so quickly.
Focus on the positive. It helps.
I guess this is my opportunity to study alien species firsthand. Getting a Ket specimen aboard the Hyperion would be difficult, but here...
What?
A Ket corpse. For autopsy, a live subject would be better, but I'm not greedy.
Why do you care about the Ket?
Harry didn't tell you? I'm a specialist in alien anatomy. My thesis on Krogan virility and aggression is what got me in the initiative.
That's a very specific topic.
I grew up on Omega, lots of Krogan mercenaries. The best habitat outside Tuchanka. But we were discussing the Ket.
Habitat.
An autopsy could teach us potential weaknesses, average lifespan.
Right.
Just something to think about. Sam,
all right.
Make sure the Pathfinder eats his vegetables.
All right, anything new going on in here? I don't think so. Okie dokie. I'm gonna recolor my armor a bit. Do a blue underlay. Like that. Oops, forgot to change it. There it is. That's good. A little darker. Excellent. Do the proper N7 look. With a little blue. Nice. Nice. Alright, let's get out of here. Anything over here to scan? No, I didn't think so. Alright, onward we go. For now, back to the Nexus. Okay. Let's go back. Oosh. I really love these sequences. Very cool.
Familiar territory.
The Nexus has been here for months. Still not enough time to survey it all.
Well, let's do some surveying, shall we?
Anomaly detected.
What's all this?
Probe away. I found
Ezo,
something.
huh? It's Ezo deposit. Alright. Excellent. Now, I will also say, let's keep some of the in-system flying. Oh, just 10. That's not much. Okay. Anyway, though, I do think that the next step, any reasonable, from any reasonable perspective on the Andromeda initiative, the next step pretty much has to be, the next step pretty much has to be military spacecraft. I mean, it's got to be. At least after everything, right? Immediately, yes, we need to be working on gathering resources and establishing colonies, getting people fed, and all that sort of thing. But we really do need to focus on space defense. Ooh, that's alien. Because this caryatid, heavily damaged and adrift, but salvageable. Well, let's salvage it. But this thing, see this ship? This is basically the alien equivalent of a shuttle. It's a little bit beefier, and it actually is, I think, slightly armed, and it is the most heavily armed non-Ket starship that there is in the Helius cluster, which is ridiculous. Because again, there's the initiative has no armed craft, and if I recall, neither do the Angara, who are the aliens that we've yet to meet at this point, but will soon. They have very little in the way of armed spacecraft. They certainly don't have anything like a navy. They don't have dreadnoughts for sure.
Deploying probe.
Beijing.
Getting a scan.
A volcano. Good experience. Okay, nice. Lava flow data. Okay. To the Nexus. So, among the things that I've been talking about recently, I have mentioned that I've been talking about in class. I've been talking about C.S. Lewis's *The Abolition of Man* last Thursday into this coming week, and I mentioned offhandedly that I was planning on making a couple of video lectures on it. I kind of gave up. The main reason I basically gave up is because the way that Lewis structures his book, this book, by the way, the way that Lewis structures this thing is essentially hermeneutic. he argues and he talks in concentric circles. So he begins with a topic and then he circles around several other topics until getting back to the first one. And he does this over and over and over and over again for the course of the entire book. And so what I wound up doing was, I went through it and I was taking notes to try and organize it into something I could make a lecture out of. And I wound up with this on just the first chapter. I mean, if you can't read my handwriting on the stream, on this tiny little corner of the screen, of course you can't. That's reasonable. But what I basically came up with is 5 completely different topics, just that he discusses in the first chapter. That would be 5 different lectures that I would have to record. Each not too terribly long, but that's at least 5 different lectures that I would have to record to actually cover the material properly, in any level of organized detail. And so I'm not doing that. That is a little bit. And of course, remember that is in addition to the one lecture that I've already finished. I already have, because I have a classroom lecture on the abolition of man on the first chapter, and how it discusses early education in the context of Plato's Republic. And I have that from years ago. In addition to that, there would be at least 5 topics that I would need to cover. And so what I'm going to do instead, what I'm planning on, is recording some of my classroom lectures this week. My class discussions, more like, recording those. And posting those to share, both for you guys and for future students as well, taking this class, or for current students who want an additional perspective from a different class period, or just to go back over things. And so that is that's my plan for this week, is to record both Tuesday and Thursday lectures, both about the abolition of man. Tomorrow covering chapter 2, the way, or the Tao, and then chapter 3 on Thursday, that being the abolition of man, the titular chapter. So that is the plan for now, and I should be able to, like I said, cover enough of it in the class discussion, but in a much more organic sort of way, because again, this hermeneutic method of writing that Lewis employs is very organic. It is almost conversational. He goes through these topics one by one by one by one by one, coming back to them all.
We're settling EOS.
We've thought that before.
But EOS is different now, right? Pathfinder.
All right, settle down. Give him space. Lieutenant Syax, Kendros' aide. They all wanted to see you. Real hope again. It's been a while.
Relax, Lieutenant. If there was ever a day to pop some champagne.
Certainly. The initiative's finally back on track.
Professor Herrick, right?
Cheers.
What you achieve with that remnant vault is unprecedented, Pathfinder. Impossible. But with new scientific talent waking up, we'll unravel those mysteries. The whole Nexus will benefit.
August Bradley will oversee that. He's the new mayor.
Bradley. I know him. Seems like a good man.
Well, what are you waiting for? There's a new world out there.
Thank you, Ryder.
Right. Excellent. Nexus is waking up too. Look at this. Oh, hey. Space. Never noticed there was just, like, open space up there. I mean, I'm sure it's, like, a viewport, like a window, but still. Also, this is really nice.
It's like they spawn when I'm not looking. It never ends.
This is basically an imitation of the Citadel, the Presidium of Citadel. But now, also, the artificial cloud cover is really cool. Artificial imitation, whatever cover.
Don't shove the crate off the... You shoved the crate off the ramp. Where do they find these people?
Yeah, Vatra?
Keeping tabs on things back here?
Yeah, I try to watch what's going on while we're away, but it's nice to check in person.
Going well, I hope.
As well as it can go with limited resources, yeah. Tiny steps.
That's good. Tiny steps. Vina. Let's not bother with the Vina. Never all that useful.
Hi, it's nice to meet you. Welcome to the Nexus. Let me pull up your records.
Oh man, look at that.
Your medical scans are in order. Everything's good. You're cleared for entry.
Where will we be living?
EOS. Outpost Prodromos is
A
being
married couple
established
already.
as a science center. Looks like you two are nourishment engineers. Makes sense. Scientists have to eat. Terraforming efforts are ongoing, so it might be a while.
Terraforming? I thought everything would be ready.
We've had a few unexpected wrinkles. It's nothing the Pathfinders can't handle.
Pathfinders, there's one of me. At least for now. In any case, yeah, I like that's actually finally a relief that there's actually there's a married couple being thought out together. Wow. It's a first.
Founder of the initiative. On behalf of the Nexus, I welcome you to the Cultural Center. Please have a look around.
That is a very generic VI.
It's an honor to meet you, citizen of Andromeda. My people are the Turians. It will be a privilege to tell you about them.
Huh. Alright, I'm not going to go through all of the stuff on each of the races.
Maybe later.
At your pleasure.
But it is very cool that we have this like little list of little introduction to all of the various races.
Hi there. Thanks for stopping by. I'm a Krogan. Are you interested in hearing more about my people?
Not right now. Thank you, though.
Maybe later.
Okay, but don't worry. I won't bite.
Ah. Oh man, in the background is Thessia. That's their homeworld.
People are known as Asari. It would be my pleasure to tell you about our kind.
I'm curious if they go into mating rituals. I have to know.
Okay.
Very well. Asari are the oldest civilized race in the Milky Way galaxy. Among my people, diplomacy and cooperation are prized over war or conflict.
Okay. That's good enough. Thanks.
Very well. We look forward to forging new bonds with our friends in Andromeda. The wisdom you share is our reward.
I was just concerned that they might have included in the Asari introduction that they're 100% down to bang. Because, you know. Anyway. But no, it's I like this. I like that this is all set up, even though there's no one here to actually look at it.
This is an image of the Citadel, considered the seat of government for many civilized races in the Milky Way galaxy. Here, the Council deliberates on matters of state. It is a champion of the common citizen, eager to help those in need. As with all political institutions in the Milky Way, conflict is rare. Peace and cooperation are the rule of the day.
Okay. Oh, jeez. All right, fine. Sure. I'll believe that. I'll pretend to believe that.
Inhabitant of Andromeda, I'm a Solarian. I'd be pleased to tell you more about my species.
You're a female Solarian VI.
Maybe later.
That's...
Certainly. Feel free to return when you have a moment.
I mean, aren't they? They're a matriarchal society, aren't they? I think. Very few female Solarians
For
around.
Milky Way colonists arriving in your galaxy. They come seeking a fresh start in Andromeda, yearning only for a land they can call home. If you encounter an outpost, feel free to drop by and say hello. Your new neighbors are eager to make friends.
Yeah, I hope that's right.
This is Ark Hyperion,
Mostly.
one of several ships that made the long voyage from the Milky Way galaxy to Andromeda. The thousands of colonists aboard have come in peace, united by their dream of a better life in your beautiful galaxy. You need not fear their arrival. We are all citizens of the universe, eager to be your friend.
It's weirdly cosmopolitan, but okay. How about Garson?
Hello there, neighbor. I'm Gian Garson, the founder of the Andromeda Initiative. I thought you might like to hear more about our plans.
Sure.
Okay.
Great. If
Okay.
you're seeing this, it means our Pathfinders have done their job and made new friends in the galaxy. Welcome to the Nexus. But I want to put your mind at ease. Seeing our arcs arrive in your neighborhood probably raised some concerns. I'm happy to address them.
What are you planning to do in this galaxy?
Great question.
Yeah, this
I'm
is.
worried about that too. I can assure you, we have no hostile intentions whatsoever. We're pilgrims who simply want to live in peace. We're eager to learn about new cultures, new ideas, and share our own with you. But we understand trust needs to be earned, no matter what galaxy you're in. And the initiative looks forward to doing just that.
See, this is part of why I think that they decided to have no warships come. And I get it. I get the idea that showing up with a bunch of armed to the teeth warships would have been seen immediately as a threat. But at the same time, there are threats to deal with. And coming with no armaments, no shipboard armaments at least, seems like a wildly dangerous overstep. But again, maybe she's overly idealistic, which I kind of get the impression she is a little bit overly idealistic. But at the same time, also, she knows about the Reapers. She knows what they're trying to get away from. That's why she moved the schedule up for departure. And so, it seems like she shouldn't be this naive. Excuse me. But maybe that's why. Maybe that also has something to do with why. Maybe they didn't have time to bring a complement of warships or anything. Maybe they were planning to initially, but didn't get around to it, or something like that. That's at least a possibility. I don't know. Well, I think we find out a little bit more about this, but not enough. Not nearly enough.
Why did you leave the Milky Way?
I get that question a lot. Many of us have a deep curiosity that needs to know what else is out there.
I love that.
Our Milky Way is just one tiny speck in a universe full of mysteries. And speaking for myself, the thought of exploring those mysteries in Andromeda was a call to adventure I could not resist.
That reminds me of the N7-day trailer.
On behalf of my fellow Milky Way travelers, we couldn't be more excited about what the future holds for all of us.
And that little bit reminds me so much of that N7-day trailer that really just sold me on the vision of this game. Like, more than anything else, the vision for this story was so incredible. It's that drive for adventure and discovery, to see what's over the horizon, that I just loved about Mass Effect the whole time.
Milky Way,
It was from the
the
beginning.
original system of the colonists now arriving in Andromeda. Home to countless life forms, the
You mean
Milky
galaxy?
Way is a galaxy where friendship and peace are held in the highest regard. Those arriving in Andromeda
Bullshit,
bring with
but
them
okay.
the spirit of enlightenment. They look forward to making your acquaintance.
God, why would you say this? That's such an obvious lie. It's so
Pathfinder,
dangerous.
I'm glad you could stop by. Pardon the dust while we set everything up.
What goes on here?
The Cultural Center is a place where new races we've met can visit and exchange ideas. They can learn more about the Milky Way species, while we foster an air of cooperation and understanding. We're just getting everything ready. Hopefully it won't be long before we have our first visitors.
Okay.
How did you get this job?
I was a sociologist in the Milky Way. While there were plenty of cultures to study, the books on them had all been written. There was nothing new I could add. So when I heard about the initiative, I signed up right away. The idea of meeting new people, seeing how they've evolved, adapted to life's challenges, I couldn't resist.
All right.
Have you heard
I get
anything
that.
about the Ket?
Unfortunately, yes. Now, that's a species we won't be inviting here anytime soon. I'd hoped our encounters would be peaceful, but I suppose that was too much to ask.
Thanks.
Of course, our hope is that you'll make friends in the cluster and send them our way. And when you have a second, check back with me on a favor I'd like to ask.
Sure. Let me check the human VI first. I forgot about that.
Hello there. I'm a human being. If you'd like to know more about my people, just ask.
Sure. What do we got?
Okay.
Good to hear. Humanity is a diverse species. You may notice different skin colors and religious beliefs among our people. Yet we don't let those differences come between us. We'd rather celebrate our diversity, rather than fight over it.
You sure about that? I mean, fine, 22nd century, but come on, guys.
I'm glad you stopped by. Next time you see a human, ask about ice cream. It's one of the many great things we bring to an
I love that Ice cream is the human selling point. That's oh man. I mean, it's a good one. It's a good one. I don't know if it's the best, but it's a good one. It's a good thing.
Need to explain you.
Explain me?
Our new VI over there is meant to describe the role of our Pathfinders, but it just lost all its settings in a crash.
Oh,
If you could fix
great.
them, that would really help us out. Just talk to the VI, and it'll do the rest.
Sure. Go do that.
Thanks.
Of course.
Let's go fill in the gaps. Whee!
Welcome to the setup for your Pathfinder informational VI. I am programmed with all relevant data. However, you must identify which information I should prioritize. First, select your preferred voice and appearance, male or female.
I mean, let's model it after. I mean, yeah, let's model it after me because it's the human VI showing up. So
Male, please.
Variable set. Which aspect of the Pathfinder's role should be highlighted? Exploration and discovery or first contact with new species?
let's go with let's look to the horizon, like I said, and look over the horizon. All that.
Let's go with exploration and discovery.
Variable set. Next, should I emphasize the role of the Pathfinder team or their partner AI?
Partner AI. Let's go with the unique role. Despite the potential dangers of that. But then again, I mean, we don't know that Andromeda has had anything like the torrid history with AI that the Milky Way has. So they might not be so prejudiced about AI as the Milky Way is.
Talk about our SAM partners.
Variable set. Finally, should I provide career advice for future Pathfinders or an honor of former Pathfinders?
Let's go with former.
List the former Pathfinders.
Setup complete. Would you like to keep these settings?
Yeah.
It all sounds good to me.
Thank you for choosing this Pathfinder information VI. Implementing changes.
Okay. Excellent. All right, we're up here on the balcony. So I'm just gonna stand here. You guys can get a nice view, and I will be back in just a moment. Give me just a couple of minutes. Be right back.
The use of firearms on the Nexus is against initiative regulations. Please report any suspicious activity to the nearest security representative. The Nexus invites you to visit the newly opened Vortex. The Vortex. Let life take you for a spin.
I'm back just in time to read the chat. Erica asks, male or female? Excuse me. What about NBs? Non-binary persons. Well, that wasn't a thing yet when this game came out. I mean, the trans issue was already a thing because this came out in 2017, I think. Again, the big cultural shift. I always put the big cultural shifts, the transition to clown world. I put around 2015, and so this was kind of into that a bit, but it was not anywhere near accelerated to the point where it is today, with non-binariness being anything like a commonality. It was nothing like common at the time. In 2016, 17, when this was in development, despite it being pretty darn progressive in a lot of ways, it's still, first of all, it makes fun of a bit of it, making it sort of whitewashing Milky Way history, but then also a lot of it is that there wasn't nearly as much of the insane clown world as we have today. And I mean, again, that's the other thing. Okay, before we talk to Dr. Aradana, I have to say that is something that the progressives do not understand. Especially when they do anything set in the future or science fiction related, they insist that everything in the future, everything set in the future beyond today, will have exactly the same beliefs and ideas as they do, except maybe a little bit further, which is ridiculous, because all of their particular beliefs and prejudices and everything, all of their assumptions are very particularized to a particular cultural moment. In other words, the early 21st century.
Downloading new scanner data.
Oh, neato. In any case, it's very naive of them to think that the particular idea we have, ideas that we have today of gender identity and all that, are going to be exactly the same in 7,500 years or 800 years. It's ridiculous, and it really sets these science fiction stories very much in the present rather than in the future. You can tell when they're produced, in other words. Whereas what we should have, what I think would be far better, would be something like cultures with their own weird little quirks. That would be far more realistic, especially for being in the future. Anyway.
Perhaps Sam
see what's up here.
can pilot for you.
Yes, I'd love to. Can I? Doctor, thank you.
Hello, Pathfinder. A moment?
What can I do for you, Doctor?
I have a math problem. Some vital equations that only a mind like Sam's could solve. They concern strange transmission patterns in the Scourge. Perhaps random noise, perhaps not.
Sure.
Sam likes new experiences. It'll be an opportunity to encounter math homework.
Given the complexity and the security implications, I recommend transferring the equations directly into SAM node. I have them on an optical storage disk for you.
I'll see if I have time.
Thank you, Pathfinder. Please thank Sam as well.
Sure. Alright, so we'll go and do that at some point soon, when we head towards the Hyperion. I do want to check out all of our various things going on here. Shapiro.
What's the trouble?
I've got power shortages throughout the station. I can't for the life of me find the cause. Oh, whoa, you're the Pathfinder. Hey, sorry, please ignore me. You've got way more important things to do.
He really does look like his slightly more white and Jewish ancestor, doesn't he? Anyway.
Power to the Nexus is pretty important. I'm happy to help.
That's great, because I'm at a loss. There are obvious short circuits cropping up all over the place. A Pathfinder's eye might reveal something.
Or at least a scanner.
There's a power short here. We could scan the area.
Which equipment? I noticed a power short in here, and I noticed one in the... Aha. Something appears to have attempted to gain access to the base of the unit, exposing and severing the power cables, shorting out the power supply. Noticed one in the lab as well.
We hope you'll enjoy learning about the rich diversity of people who have arrived from the Milky Way galaxy.
This, you know. Physical damage to base, exposed cabling.
Sam, we need more data on life in the cluster, whatever
you can find.
There's definitely a short. Let's see what else. Oh, points of failure in ops. Okay. Nothing else here.
Sure glad I went to school for this. Thanks for nothing, education.
Hydroponics. Very nice. Kind of love it. It is odd. There's not a lot of like food bearing plants, like fruits, vegetables, grains, that sort of thing growing in hydroponics. I would think there would be more. This would be the apartments. At least some of them. And there's not a lot here. These are actually very large apartments. Much bigger than I would have thought for this sort of thing. Although they are stacked up pretty high, so multi-level. Presumably there's some beneath this as well. Right. Let's head downstairs. See what else there is. Something is causing it. Perhaps the saboteur that we covered earlier, or something similar. Yeah.
Just when I've balanced the air mix, another Yahoo has to come wandering through. Aren't you the Pathfinder? Dr. Camden, head of hydroponic sciences. Mind the seedlings.
Bye. Enjoy your gardening.
Botany.
Sure.
Okay. Nothing. That's a shame. Vortex. There's a club or a bar or something. Yeah, there's a bar.
That's your flag, everyone. That's Prodromos.
Oh, there it is. Or is that the initiative? We get to scan it? No, I don't. Hey, Liam.
Things are shaping up, Pathfinder. Resources flowing in, sleepers ready to head out. It's starting to feel like the initiative. Not quite up to the sales pitch, but getting there. Feels good, right?
I feel it, Liam. Finally getting our start.
There we go. Getting our shit together. Showing the new galaxy that we have it sorted. If I keep saying it, it's true, right?
I mean, hopefully, yeah. No.
Hey, I was wondering if you could help me out. It's for the good of the bar.
Why not?
Lay it on me.
So, folks try and help and all, but we have a limited pool of ingredients. Keep an eye out for anything interesting we could use for new drinks, and we'll let you test them for free.
Right. I get a feeling the testing will be interesting.
Nah, it'll be fine.
Dutch may complain a lot, but he's loving it. And he's the best chemist I know. You're in good hands.
Alright then. But Dutch.
Another one! Damn it! This is supposed to be the chemistry lab. My chemistry lab. You all keep crawling out of the woodwork like space cockroaches.
Oh, I know that
Say
voice.
that, Dutch, but here you are, pouring people drinks.
Hi. I'm standing right here.
They're guinea pigs,
That's,
damn it. Chemists should have guinea pigs. Not have their labs taken over by people giving them things and being nice.
That's, what's the spirit kid's name from Dragon Age Inquisition? Same voice actor. Also vaguely autistic as well. The Fitz. God, who is it? What's his name? Not Nil. I never brought him because I played a rogue in our playthrough. Cole, thank you, Cole. Cole, yes, Cole.
Aren't bartenders usually friendly? You're kind of hostile.
I'm not supposed to be a bartender. I'm supposed to be a chemist.
Don't let Dutch
Fair
put
enough.
you off. He's a sweetie, really.
I'm not.
And the drinks are good.
Damn right they are. I mean, yeah, Have a dirty squirrel.
You sure you want to call it that? Like, it's not too late to change. It is not too late to change that name. Never too late. Now, I will say, I mean, you can criticize them opening a bar as an early priority, but honestly, that's actually kind of reasonable. Prioritizing R&R, especially once it's feasible now, because at this point it is actually somewhat feasible to.
Hello, I'm in charge of organizing whatever armor supplies we can find for you.
Now that now that Arc Hyperion has showed up, it's actually is relatively feasible. To
You got it. Shop till you drop. Here I
it's actually
come.
relatively feasible to set up something that is specifically. Yeah, okay. Something specifically feasible for. Okay, sorry. Let me start this over. It is actually at this point somewhat feasible to set up something which is exclusively for the purpose of R&R, because before that it had been basically impossible without the additional resources brought in by the Hyperion. But now, bringing in the resources from the Hyperion, we can actually do this. We can actually have a reasonable setup, which does prioritize wants and not just strict needs. Because again, that sort of thing is very healthy for general populace, that kind of thing.
Hello, Puff.
Can I get anything here? Agility mode. Did I get this? I thought I had this. I'll buy it. Supplemental life support. Yeah, I'll buy them. Mod slot extension and PDO. I need one of these. Automatic fire system. Weapon fire to automatic. Ooh, that's actually really nice. I'm gonna take it. Metagel regulator. That's pretty good. Shield accelerator. Shield regeneration. Okay. I have some of these. Hey, Bublin, welcome. Good evening. Have I considered a collaboration with Only Use Me Blade? No, I actually don't. Not a channel I'm familiar with. I would be open to it. I'm generally pretty much always open to collaborations, especially if it's something that's relatively what would I say, relatively overlapping in some way with our content, and not just our content, but I would say our ooh, that's a good one. With our the types of content and the types of material that we discuss, more so than just like other gaming channels. Because I mean, I don't know. The focus of both this channel and the live streams is not exactly the gameplay. In case you didn't notice that from the way that I've been playing most of these games. But at the same time, if people are wanting to discuss anything like media and philosophy, or media and or philosophy, I'd love to do that sort of thing. Problem says, I haven't played this game. How do you like it so far? I love it. I really do. It has a really bad reputation, and some of that is earned, but it was earned primarily based on the terrible state in which it was released. It was released really, I would say, incomplete. It was terribly incomplete when it was released, and so it has a really, really bad reputation. Mostly for bugginess, for bad animations, and all that stuff. You saw the memes, I'm sure, when this game came out, and they were it was pretty bad, to be fair. But at the same time, it's a really good game. There's a great core to it, and I'm really disappointed that it didn't get more of a chance. I have so I'm not actually that far into the game at this point. It's barely opening up. And I'm already, 9 hours into the game or so. But yeah, a lot of the patches massively improve the game, the play experience especially. At the same time, I will say, it still feels incomplete. And part of why it feels incomplete is because it was very obviously designed to have several DLCs and probably sequels that never really happened. And so there are storylines that are just sort of dangling, which is disappointing. It is very good, but it does not look like they are continuing the game's story in sequels. It seems like they're continuing the Milky Way story, at least based on what I've seen for like preview stuff for the next Mass Effect game, which I'm kind of disappointed. I think that the core of the story was really good, and it was a great setup moving forward. So it's a little disappointing that we're not going to get that. That said, I've played the game. I think this is my 6th or 7th playthrough, and I don't regret it one bit. It's a great game. It's a good one to play. And the gameplay, the actual like combat gameplay is phenomenal. With a couple of exceptions. One, they took away pause and teammate control, which is disappointing. I'm sad to see that. And then the other thing is the level design. Some of the level design could use work. Because it's so open world, the level design is designed to be approached in a number of different ways, rather than the really linear level design of previous Mass Effect games, which were more or less on rails, and so you could have cover points and things like that were set up to be cover points. To answer your latest question, if I'm planning on getting Hogwarts Legacy, eventually yes. It's now, especially if you guys would like to see me stream it, it perfectly well could be on the slate after Kingdom Come Deliverance. So when we're done with that game, probably in a month or so, I won't be getting it right away, just in case it's buggy and awful. I haven't actually been following any reviews yet. It came out today, so there aren't really that many out anyway. I've heard that it has overall good reviews, but it's very early. So I'll wait. I'll kind of wait and see a little bit. But I expect it to be pretty good from what I've seen. In any case, though, I do want to get it eventually. That could be sooner rather than later. If you or anybody else who wants to see me stream it, play it on stream, would be willing to help offset the cost a little bit, donating down there, ko-fi.com/Professor McCoy, I would be great. I would be endlessly grateful. I'm perfectly willing to play with you guys. I'd love to, in fact. And donating will help get me there. Let me put it that way. Otherwise, I will probably be waiting until I find it until first of all a bunch of reviews come in, and second of all until it's on sale somewhere. I neither want to nor realistically can afford to get a lot of really any at all new AAA games at full price. It's that's a bunch. Evelyn says IGN gave it a 9 for what it's worth. One singular data point. I mean, IGN is usually pretty solid, pretty stable in terms of its ratings. They skew high, to be fair, but 9 is pretty high even for IGN, so that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Evelyn says I'm totally gonna be a Slytherin. I don't know. I'm gonna come up with a character concept, some kind of a character concept that I think will work, and then I'll work on it from there. That's something to think about. That is something to think about. Because it is really an RPG, I want to play as a character rather than just as myself, like I have with the Dragon Age series, like I am with this one, everything like that. That's my idea. And hell, if you guys wind up donating more than the total amount, I may open up the possibility for you guys helping me decide on such a character, even if it is wildly outlandish and or let's say potentially offensive. I know there's been a lot of jokes around about characters in the game or potential J.K. Rowling characters that are just like their names are basically slurs. I mean, playing off of like Cho Chang and Seamus Finnegan and stuff like that. there's potential comedy there. Slytherin these nuts, me subjugating the entire Wizarding world. Yeah, and yeah, IGN does skew a bit high, but I think okay. So first of all, it should be like Slytherin these nuts. Feels like that should be inverted because Slytherin to a particular cavity. Anyway, as far as IGN goes and video game ratings, a lot of review sites I find review things on an A through F scale, which is basically just a 5 through 10. Like a 5 is a fail for a lot of review sites, and you have to be aware of that. Like IGN, if a game gets a 5, it is unplayable. An evil wizard named Voldemort. Now, if you can spell Bal and just have him shaved head, there you go, Voldemort. I dig it. Voldemort with the B emoji. Yeah, I dig it. I dig that too. One of the things though, like I think that we have this instinct that that grading scales are the same grading scale that you do in in school, right? Where 50% is an F and 60% is barely passing, but it's got to be really bad to get 6 out of 10. And something that's 9 out of 10 is flawed but good. It's like an A minus. Whereas, like I prefer rating systems that actually go 0 to 10, where 0 is like absolutely horrendous, 1 is bad, 5 is actually average, and 10 is top notch. It gives you a much broader range, but it's still a manageable range instead of like 1 through 100. So I think that if you're actually going to do that kind of thing, I would put this game like on the actual 1 through 10 scale. All told, in its current state, this game's probably a 6. It's above average, but not by too much, because it has a lot of drawbacks, and a lot of those drawbacks, unfortunately, are twofold. One, it's in Frostbite, and it shouldn't be. A game like this should not be in the Frostbite engine. It is not designed for it, and it does it really poorly. So a lot of the things are like watch. Look at the run cycle. See this when I turn around. It's so floaty, and it should not be. This is absurd. Things like that. It's not built for it. And the other thing is that it was very clearly designed with 2, maybe 3 DLCs in mind, plus sequels, and those never came up. So we're missing a lot of stories were just kind of left hanging, which is really disappointing. And so in its current state, I can't in good conscience give it more than maybe a 6 out of 10. Bublin says the American school grading system somehow makes IGN make sense. Yeah, no, it does. I mean, once you have that perspective, it makes sense why Hogwarts Legacy is a 9 out of 10, because that's an A minus. It's a good but flawed game. For anyone else, for any other reasonable person, that would probably be a 7 or 8. For not a reasonable person, sorry, a 0 through 10, a proper 0 through 10 rating scale, that would probably be a 7 or an 8. It's good but flawed. Certainly well above average. There's an average for IGN is probably mid, like 7 point something, if I had to guess. I don't actually have the data on averages, but I would guess that the average IGN score is probably like 7.5-ish, which is a C by the American grading scale, so it actually makes sense. It fits. So that's something to look at. Nothing. Never mind.
That's all, Harry. Thanks.
I'll be here if you need me.
Use me. Yeah, I think that grading scale makes not just IGN, but also a lot of film scores as well. Film rating systems do the same thing, which I think is it's got problems. That has problems. It's especially problems for things like Metacritic, which tries to average scores that are on a true proper 1 through 10 scale with other scores that are on a proper 1 through 5 scale with other scores that are on the sort of American grading scale of what is effectively 5 through 10. And as far as I can tell, they don't really account for those. Oh. Ma'am.
You, Pathfinder.
Kind of
I have
bald.
a word or two
Why
for
are you
you.
bald?
Is there a problem?
Your father is my problem. He's everyone's problem. We're
Not
all
anymore.
paying for Alec Ryder's ego. He preyed on Jean Garson's trusting nature and bulldozed us to this godforsaken place.
Excuse me?
Now she's dead, and we'll all soon follow.
Hey, my dad died for this dream. He was trying to fix things for all of us.
Some dream.
Jesus.
He fixed us all right. Go to hell, Pathfinder.
Okay, well. Nothing we can do about it now. Sorry. What is that? Ooh. A crate of hops. Grown on Earth. Nice. Anything else in here? Doesn't seem like it.
What's the latest about waking people up?
Yeah, let's go to Sam Node.
Welcome back, Scott.
Dr. Aradana at the tech lab sent some equations for you to solve.
I mean, he knows he was there. But...
Transferring them now. Have fun. Hey, what the? Sam!
Malicious code detected. Please stand by.
Sam?
Attempting to countermand malicious code. Please stand by.
Is there anything I can do? Sam!
Oof, that's not good.
Is that another malfunction, or... Sam, you trying to show me something?
Okay. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
I think I got it.
Okay.
Sam, talk to me!
Hello,
I got
Pathfinder. Please initialize the console to restore normal operations.
Oh, that wasn't good.
Happened? The equations contained a Trojan horse program, a virus.
That's not good, you're in my brain.
To sever our connection and render me helpless. Reconnecting would be impossible.
You'd need a crack AI programmer to create a virus like that.
Yes. Only my unique adaptions prevented permanent damage.
Unlock the door. Let's head to the tech lab and see what Dr. Aradana has to say.
Interesting. Interesting. What do we have here?
Your father's personal logs.
Yeah.
That log is not currently accessible.
Okay.
Unlocking my memory array may enable.
Alright, never mind. Nothing new. Okay, well, let's go to Ops. Scan some failure points. Andromeda Initiative. Okay.
As sleepers wake from
2 ops.
stasis, the initiative urgently requires blood, tissue, and DNA donations. See a medic if you think you may be eligible. This is HNS.
Very nice guava beer, by the way. It's guava and passion fruit beer.
So authorize a sweep.
Oh, interesting. Credits, materials, materials, credits and materials, credits and materials. Research data against Ket. Research data against exiles. Material credits. Credits and material. Okay. And a strike team. Oof, only 61% chance of success. Jesus. That's not good. That's not good. Let's not do that. Let's do this one. 93%. Both of these are 93%. So let's send Echo.
Weekly injury report. Casualty rate matches projections.
Hey, Sid.
It's you. You're the human Pathfinder. I'm Sid, Vetra's sister. Vetra's told me all about you. Well, not all about you, but the important bits.
Yeah, okay.
I should probably get back to work. It was real nice meeting you, though.
I'll let you get back to work. An animal did this?
Affirmative. I am able to track it.
Huh. An animal. That's very strange.
Where's that really? Pathfinder. Wow. I'm Davis Carr, Helius News Service. Maybe you've heard my voice over the vids. I'm trying to file a story right now, but hey.
HNS, huh? Where are the rest of you?
I had an editor, but it's crazy out here. Now, beyond a freelancer or two, I'm it. All that stands between freedom and tyranny. Or something. I haven't had much sleep.
It must be difficult to set up a broadcast from scratch.
No, it's easy. Beyond the lack of staff, resistant authorities, and constant technical glitches. Still, I'm getting there. May have an honest-to-goodness source in Nexus Security, if she ever calls me back.
Who's your source?
No journalist worth their salt will ever give that up.
Okay. I mean, are you a journalist or a journalist? I'm sure we'll find out.
Who pays for you to do this?
Technically, HNS is an arm of the initiative, but we serve the public, not them. Sometimes the higher-ups try and tell us what to broadcast, Tan especially, but we decide what to run and how to run it. It causes friction, but at least I can live with myself.
This is friction, meaning, like, there are serious conflicts of interest with your funding source. That's sketchy. That's real sketchy.
Were you a journalist back in the Milky Way?
I was. Sort of. Only had a couple internships under my belt. Good places, though. The New Star Chronicle even sent me to Mars for a week. The plan was just to work as a reporter out here. Then the uprising happened. We got a little too close. My editor was killed. Tan blamed our broadcasts for stirring unrest. It was bullshit. Now all I want to do is keep going.
Yeah, see, that's the
Talk
concern.
to you later, Davis.
Hey, Ryder, before you go, I hate to ask, but it seems like your job takes you all over. The places we can't broadcast yet. If I send receivers to your ship, would you mind placing them on some planets? It'll help get news out to even the most far-flung colonists.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Davis. I'll help you get set up.
Great. Just place a receiver near an outpost, and they'll get our reports.
Yeah, let's do it. Thought she was glowing red for a second.
This is Addison.
As sleepers
Our
wake
first
up,
outpost, Prodromos, has confirmed full deployment.
We'll talk to her shortly.
We expect the colony to be fully self-supporting
That.
soon and able to send us supplies.
Docile pallid variety. Likely came aboard Nexus from on a shuttle from Eos. Seems to be building a nest from forged material scraps. Poses no further threat.
How many times have I told you this
Pathfinder,
story?
I believe you found the culprit responsible for the power shortages.
Wait, what? You've been keeping count?
Hell is that? Spooter.
Alert Professor Herick to come secure it.
That's not funny.
It's a spooter.
Hydroponics reports oxygen production is nominal.
It's a big old spooter.
Good job on the outpost. Maybe Addison will lighten up.
What do you mean?
She's been pretty upset about not having an initiative outpost established yet. Understandable, if you ask me. I'm just glad she's got work to focus on now.
Nothing more for now.
Good luck out there.
Superintendent Cash reminds everyone, all power grid adjustments
Oh, okay, got that.
must be approved beforehand.
Come on. Can't they talk to you, Drac?
Ryder, can you believe this place?
One space station, slightly dented?
You should have seen it a year ago. It was more than just dented. Anyway, thanks for bringing me on. Tan can't kick me off the station now, and it's been nice seeing my granddaughter again.
The two of you seem close.
It's been Kesh and me against the galaxy the moment I got her. Well, maybe not as much now, but it sure was early on.
Oh. Sweet old Grandpa Jack. Or Drac. Jack. Hey, he's a little bit Jack-like in terms of Arca's character, Jack. A little bit. A little bit. Rekka.
Please address concerns first with Director Addison. One must obey protocol.
Oh, sure, okay.
You've shaken things up, Pathfinder. My department actually has colonial affairs to direct. And you have new tools to help grow the initiative. AVP, ready for spending.
Sam said there was new functionality to discuss.
It's how the initiative was designed to support the Pathfinder. You and your team are out there making Andromeda viable. That empowers all of us. Hit a threshold. A new cryo group can be brought out. Want more focus on research, like on prodromos? That's your call. Brekka will introduce the interface and handle minutiae. All you need to do is decide what life in Andromeda means. No pressure.
Neato. Erica says, the thought of Jack living long enough to settle down and have kids and then grandkids is frightening. Yeah, I don't see that happening, but you never know.
Hello,
Maybe.
Pathfinder. I am Cryo Deployment Administrator Vladimir Brekka, C-63 Galati. Your first task is to decide irrevocably the course of every life in the initiative.
Whoa, that seems like too much.
Yeah, it does.
Yes, of course. But now you respect what we're doing. Andromeda viability and Nexus
that was good.
thresholds are
That was
your
well done.
tools, your reward, and
was well
our
done.
future. How can I help?
Okay, so what about these blocks of people?
So I decide what groups to wake up. Won't everyone be out eventually?
Absolutely. But there's an order to things, lines of support. You can't deploy an omelet without first deploying eggs. And eggs won't get you steak. Except it's people, and how all our lives begin.
Yeah, okay.
How are you measuring thresholds?
It's based on resource estimates and the general stability, a metric of acceptable scope and risk. The more you achieve, the greater capacity we can accommodate, the more the initiative can do for you. Simplest explanation, the more you do, the more room we have to grow.
What's the rundown on AVP?
Much of the preparation in the Milky Way was determining how to measure success. Thresholds are about capacity, but this is about cost, what we can actually afford to support. Points aren't the most elegant system, but it makes it clear. The more you earn, the more we can deploy.
I mean, it's not elegant, but it is very game mechanic-y.
All right, Brekka. Where do I start?
The interface is active and will respond only to a Pathfinder. It's ready for your first selection.
Okay,
You
then.
may begin shaping the initiative at your leisure.
Leisure sounds wrong for this. Okay, science spots. Lab decks. Earn research points at regular intervals. Hell yes, we need that. The minerals at regular intervals. Okay, that's upgrading. Military. Munitions. Consumable drops. Consumable supplies. Nah. Organic materials. Tech materials. Hidden caches are at established forward stations. That's nice, but eventually. 10% bonus to XP for completing encounters. Extra consumable slot. Ooh, that's nice. That's very nice. Another consumable slot. 90% EOS. Apex Tactics. Yeah. Credits for missions. Alright, commerce. Earn credits from investments at regular intervals. Upgrade. Improve prices when buying or selling. Dominance. Increase inventory capacity. I'm tempted. I am tempted. Looking at my item limit, I'm really tempted. I'll come back to that, but first I'm going to go with research points. Select 100 Milky Way data. Yeah, me. Okay. I have how many points do I have? I only have one. Okay, I have none available. All right, sounds good. Speaking of, let's go see Tan.
Pathfinder, do you have just a minute?
Yes.
Ryder, isn't it? Kerry Tavessa, freelance vidmaker. This is Hakim, my producer. I could use your help.
What are you looking for?
Director Tan's asked for an uplifting documentary on the initiative. Translation, paint rainbows over our problems. But our problems are history. People deserve the truth, not propaganda.
It takes integrity to record the truth and nothing but.
Well, I do my best. And you could help me out. The heart of my documentary will be an interview series. I was hoping you'd take part. I want the dirt and blood of our story, not the convenient fairy tale Tan's looking for. Interested?
You don't mind treading on the initiative director's toes?
What would he do? Pull funding we don't have? I'm game if you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
Interview away.
Let's start at home. 14 months and the Nexus still isn't finished. Arcs are missing, we have people in exile. By any standard, this wasn't the plan. Our leadership describes these as anticipated issues. Would you agree?
Oh, we still have to fix them. Everyone, leaders included, needs to pitch in. Let's be honest about these challenges and how we're going to face them.
Nice. Won't make you popular with the leaders, but it's good to hear. Bandwidth means I'm transmitting in short bursts, so that's all for now. But you can bet I'll have more questions later. You were great. I'll get to work editing.
All right. I gave one line of dialogue, so it shouldn't take that long to edit, right?
Hello, Pathfinder.
Oh, hi.
Hello. Director Tan is expecting you.
Last time I was here, this was a storage closet.
Pathfinder Hall just needed a Pathfinder to open.
We're still getting the commons area ready. Hydroponics is only at partial capacity.
Not good enough.
We don't have enough people. My workers need a break, Tan.
I sympathize, but not until our survival is no longer at risk. Now please excuse me while I meet with our Pathfinder. Hey, Ryder. Addison told me about the outpost. You're the hero of the hour.
Let's hold off on the celebration. We haven't found home yet.
We might have.
There's no need for modesty. Success affords leverage over those who doubted you.
And you're my best friend?
A patron. One who shares your vision of a prosperous future.
All right, sure. Okay,
I
I'll play
suppose
ball.
we agree on that much.
I knew that given a chance, your talents would emerge. Deciphering the vault, alien terraforming. It's not how we imagined all this, but a good Pathfinder improvises. And a great one hangs it on the wall.
All right. Okay, fair enough. That's nice.
Yours are the first trophies to grace Pathfinder Hall. You're a symbol now, Ryder. A reason for people to believe.
I plan on doing a lot more than that.
That's the confidence we need. Take charge and ignore your critics.
Careful, he'll end up adopting you, Ryder.
Ah, my staff.
Colleagues, you wouldn't be looking to cut us out, would you, Tan?
I remind you, I am the director of the initiative.
Acting director.
This isn't the time for arguing over who gets to be king. Too much is at stake. We should be cooperating.
That's what I've been saying since we arrived.
Then I look forward to winning our Pathfinder support.
I have concerns about your decision on Eos, Ryder. An outpost full of
He's so
scientists won't do as
tall.
much good if they can't attack.
Tan is
But it will help
absurdly
support
tall.
the Nexus. Improved research could help feed our people.
And we could argue about it all day long, as we always do. The decision was made. Now we move on. What is your plan for moving on, Ryder?
We have a lead on the terraforming network. I need to take the Tempest deeper into the sector to investigate. If the other Golden Worlds are where they should be, this could get us closer to them.
Careful. The Kett are scouring the cluster for remnant technology. You'll end up in a fight, for sure. You might also run into exiles. They didn't leave the Nexus on good terms.
And we still need more outposts. They're important to expanding the station.
Though with Ark still missing, this could be a chance for Ryder to search for them. Yes, I think that's best. You have my permission.
I wasn't really asking for it.
Of course. I support that kind of enthusiasm.
God, he's such a bootlicker. This is really quite something.
Ryder, this is Harry, back on the Ark.
Go ahead.
We may have found a way to talk to your sister, sort of. Drop by when you can. Hyperion Medbay.
Will do.
Rocks.
A reminder, you have AVP outstanding.
But I do?
Right. Have to talk to Addison's assistant about viability perks. Sounds useful.
Memorial to Alec. Planetary Hollow. EOS is doing very well.
Apex personnel, please check your duty roster for important updates.
Welcome back to this. TVH Ravuna. The model of the Ravuna. Ravina? I don't know. An early Turian starship and their first to travel beyond a mass relay. The SSV Normandy SR2. Secretly acquired blueprints of the SSV Normandy SR2, a stealth frigate based on designs co-developed by the Systems Alliance and Turian hierarchy. Of course, they have to have that. ESAV Madriti. Humanity's first crewed ion engine starship, built using technology proven by the ESA Smart 1 probe in 2003 CE. The Christian era, that is. Pathfinder. Series 1 Pathfinder armor. Prototype. Donated to the Andromeda Initiative Historical Records Council. All dates are in CE. Christian era. First ESM. Yeah, okay, so this is actually really cool because this includes things like the ESA. First ESA deep space mission. European Space Agency, that's it. That's it. Okay. So all of these history things include various real-world historical things and then sort of projections forward, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
You've had a year to think about it.
Let me talk to you if you're fine.
Scourge, Director Tan. Its origin defies all known explanation.
How? We brought all that equipment along.
And the Tempest's readings are helping, but we've just scratched the surface.
The history of the initiative cannot show that we were defeated by a space cloud.
Something.
The space cloud. Cora? Oh, I already saw that.
Whole mood of the Nexus has changed since EOS. You really can feel it. New outpost, a Pathfinder's help, people waking up. It's a fresh start.
Can't relax yet. The initiative still has a lot of promises to keep.
And that's on us. But it's damn good to know we're on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
Any logistics updates are due within the hour.
All right.
A worker was lost to space during repairs on the Nexus hull.
Oh, well, that's not good. Worker lost to space. Great. All right, so let's go back to see if we can talk to Sarah, however that works. Where are we?
You're listening to HNS, your source for news in Helius, an independent arm.
Man, I don't know if we're actually going to get off of the Nexus tonight. We only have like half an hour left. Probably, though. Probably. We'll probably wrap up getting to the next major planet. Probably.
I'll make it right, Dash.
Harry, what's happening with Sarah?
Well, we got her out of the pod. I don't want to get your hopes up, but Sam managed to, find her, you might say.
I don't follow.
Well, she's still in a coma. But she also has an implant like yours, and Sam managed to access it. He's made contact.
That's incredible. She's okay?
Vitals are steady, but I'm letting Sam take the lead on this one.
Though in a coma, Sarah's mental processes remain intact.
So, is she okay?
You can ask her yourself. A moment while I establish a link with her implant. Proceed.
Sarah? Can you hear me?
Scott? Is that you? What's happening? Where am I?
There was a problem with your stasis pod. You're in a coma on the Hyperion. Do you understand?
I think so. Am I dreaming?
Sam linked into your implant, but they say you're stable. You're safe and sound in the medbay.
This is so weird. I hear you, but I can't feel anything. Where's Dad? Is he doing okay?
We have to be honest at this point. At least with respect to Dad, we have to be honest, because that's not going to change.
I don't know how to say this, but he's dead, Sarah.
What?
It was a freak accident.
But it's Dad. He can't die.
I know. It's been hard on everyone.
I didn't get to say goodbye.
No one did.
What about finding home? Dad kept telling me how beautiful it would be.
Now this I'm okay being optimistic, because we have a chance to make it right.
Just wait till you see it. It's amazing. Even better than the hype.
At least that's something. But I should be there with you.
Well, you were never one to quit, Sarah. A little nap won't hold you back.
Right. At least Mom and Dad are back together. Somewhere.
We will be too. Right here.
I hope so.
What happened?
The connection was only temporary. Her condition remains stable.
Sorry, it seemed better than nothing. I'll keep you posted, promise.
Thanks, Harry.
Well, let's go and make that. Oh, keep posing for a second. Let's make that promise a reality, shall we? All right, we need to go back to the docking bay to talk with the scientists about that Trojan horse for Sam.
The victim's name has been withheld until
Nyum.
next of kin in the Milky Way is notified. This is HNS.
I don't care what she says.
Sorry, I'm in a hurry. Got stuff to do. Open. Hey.
This scourge. We know it is neither nebula nor H2 region.
Doctor.
What is its nature?
Doctor.
Welcome,
You have a problem.
Pathfinder. Did Sam solve the equations I sent?
You're lucky I don't have a gun.
Solve them? They almost brought down Sam Node.
The equations contained a virus designed to target artificial intelligence.
You think Never. I abhor violence against any life, organic or synthetic.
Then how did the virus find its way into your equations?
Perhaps my files were altered or replaced. But why?
I've seen a lot of down with AI sentiment lately. Graffiti, complaints to 10. Perhaps someone took the next step.
If graffiti is the best they can do, maybe they could use some artificial intelligence.
The entire species were driven into exile by AI they created, champ. That leaves a mark.
Attacking Sam
You
is
mean one
bold,
species?
though. I wonder if there have been similar incidents.
It was just Guardians.
The AI kiosk was busted this morning.
I can look around.
All right, let's do this before we leave. That's the Avena kiosk right downstairs. So let's go check that out, shall we? Ah, it's glowing red. I see.
Artificial intelligence is a threat to all organic life. Why not ask for more details? Detecting Pathfinder
okay.
Rider.
Hi there.
Excuse the educational stuff. I hacked Avena as a sock puppet. So, our virus
Sir?
is free. Hope you're doing better without that AI jammed into your head.
Who am I talking to right now?
A friend. Our movement sent the virus to save you.
Pathfinder, it's possible they don't realize their virus failed. Pretending that it worked might win their trust.
Hello? Ryder?
Okay, sure, yeah, let's go with it.
Yes, I can't believe I'm free. Thank you.
Working on the assumption that Sam had taken over Ryder's mind
Like you.
brain
Knight
thing.
says human AI merging is a threat to all life.
Knight.
She'd know, trust me. Oh, Knight's our founder. The virus wouldn't exist without her.
I should thank Knight in person.
I'll ask her. She might even give you a tour of our sanctuary.
Great, thanks.
Can't promise anything, but watch your email. Bye.
A whole movement of AI-hating hackers with a leader called Knight.
She and her followers seem to have experience with human-AI partnership.
If they attacked you, they're capable.
Okay, so we need to deliver that hops.
Wow, where did you find those? Never mind, don't answer that.
On the
From
ground.
the Milky Way.
Looking forward to your proposals.
An open mic night. That's great. All right, so let's head back to. All right, let's actually do this. We've got 20 minutes left. I think that's pretty good. That should be enough time. I think
We've had no trouble.
should be enough time. I hope to. Actually, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me actually get my priority upset. The Onaon system. Onaon. I don't know. That system. The next system. Let's do this. Get out of here. One little odd thing about this game. I understand why they didn't want to make extra additional vistas, exterior vistas from inside, but they don't have any. There's nowhere where you can go into the Tempest on the ground. Like you can't get onto the Tempest here, like without taking off first. So even if you need to just kind of go in and then leave, you always wind up with this. All right, let's check in with Cora.
A secure outpost. Finally.
Prodromus better be worth all that time Ryder put into it.
If they fail, the next...
Report from the Nexus. Population's growing as people wake up. Lots of hopefuls waiting for a home.
Bradley will have all the help he can take.
They'll be starting crops soon.
Excellent.
Can't tell if they have enough water or too much. I grew up on a little cargo freighter. Only saw gardens in vids, but I always loved them. I daydreamed about planting a big rose garden when we got here and still imagine it sometimes. Roses in Helius.
So there's a heart soft as rose petals under that uniform.
I got plenty under here, pal. Does the big bad Pathfinder have a soft spot too?
I might. For certain someones.
Good to know. We've all got our something. I didn't for a while. After I left the Asari Commandos, well, I didn't leave. My mentor, Nasira, said I should go.
Why?
The initiative would suit you better, was all she said. Being a huntress suited me fine, but she insisted.
It sounds like she cared more about what you needed than about what you wanted.
I didn't need to be rejected.
Maybe you did.
That's familiar. When your biotics are honed into Huntress-grade weapons, people can be weird about it. The initiative seemed better. Just didn't see how I'd fit into their brave new galaxy. I never fit anywhere before. Then I met some jerk named Ryder. Talked about traveling to Andromeda like he was teaching you how to see it.
What part of that vision made you want to take the plunge?
A civilization where everyone had a place, even AI, or an overpowered human biotic. Your father said, I get being different. Now imagine being welcome and making others like you welcome too. When I was 13, I could warp a steel girder. He made me wonder, what if someone had told me that's okay?
It's a weird kind of... It makes me think of a video that I'm thinking about making. It's a kind of inversion of margin and center. I do have a video about this. I'll put a link in the description after we're done. But it's a kind of taking everybody who's out at the margin of society and making a new center with them as the core of it, as the center of it, as the as the symbolic center of it, and then having the margin being back home. It's a kind of... It's a symbolic inversion in that the outcasts are the new center. And because with the outcasts as the new center, there is nothing stable about the center, which is why it's sort of intrinsically chaotic. And I think, excuse me, as if we're talking about the natural growth and development of a society, gradually what we should expect is a new coalescence of stability in the center, and then a new margin forming. But what that center will look like is bound to be strange. Perhaps mostly just because it's formed from marginal figures who identify themselves by their being marginal, but wanting to find a part in things like Korra. So it's a strange setup, and one that might just be intrinsically too unstable. I don't know. I'm generally skeptical about centering the margin, so to speak, because it winds up with the sort of deconstruction of societies. A great example of this from Jonathan Peugeot is Shrek. Right? Shrek is an upside down fairy tale. It's about what happens when the margin sort of when the center tries excessively to invade the margin. Then what happens? The margin will supplant the center, and then things invert. Things get weird. And then what he never analyzed was the subsequent Shrek movies, because Shrek 2 is basically about the center being taken over by the margin, by Shrek, and it becoming marginal, but still being the center. And it's a very strange world that we find by the end of Shrek 2. So it's something to think about, and it's something to consider, and perhaps even fear a bit, I think.
He gave you a dream to work toward. He was good at that.
Who doesn't want to belong, especially somewhere like the Initiative? So I gave the Initiative my all. Kept thinking of the niche I wanted, my rose garden. I thought I knew what I was going to be.
This is about not taking over as Pathfinder?
Didn't think it would still sting. Nasira, your father, even my parents. They leave, I'm left without answers. Nowhere to stand.
Find somewhere to stand.
It sucks, but it happened. We need your mind on the mission.
Always is. But I'm human too. Need time to find a way through. And if that remnant tech pays off, maybe someday I'll have roses too.
That's a good place to stand, really. I mean, yeah, it's silly and it's sentimental and all that, but it's a good place to find somewhere stable. Is just grabbing on to something that is kind of, silly and overly optimistic.
All those secrets. Have to go exploring in one someday.
Oh yeah,
Imagine
absolutely.
flying through one. Now that would be a real hazard course.
I want to see that. I really want to see that. All right. Wait, what? Hold on. This task, waking up the future of the firefighters. Oh, okay. Nothing really. Okay. Onoun system. 45 minutes. Or no, sorry, 14 minutes. Let's do this. I think this is all cutscene, so let's have at it. Let's let this do its thing.
We're on a collision course with unknown objects.
Make corrections. Sam, are you on this?
Collision is imminent.
All stop, now!
See, this is why there's a serious need for
Cat ships.
weaponized ships.
No, more.
Yeah, a bunch of Ket, basically fighters, little
They've got us
gunships.
pinned against the scourge.
They are scanning us, Pathfinder.
Well,
And
stand them back.
and a big dreadnought.
Where is the one who activated the remnant? Their DNA signature is there. Answer me.
You're the one in my way. Who are you?
They've locked navigation.
We're being steered into their ship.
Just tell me what you want.
I won't explain what you can't understand.
Ryder, I have almost regained control of the ship. I need a few more seconds.
I actually know a lot about the Remnant. We should compare notes.
Enough! Your defiance is naive and reckless. This day marks the beginning of your greatness.
I was totally on board for cooperation here for a minute,
Sam?
but
I have plotted a potential
I wasn't
force
gonna
through the scourge.
Do it!
Hello, do this! Yeah, that's... Ooh.
Report.
Again, heavily armed
Enemy
dreadnought.
destroyed.
At
Damage
least...
to aft sensors.
Scourge got it?
Yes.
Get us out of here.
That's the thing, from what I can tell, that is a moderately armed dreadnought. Because it has those big quad cannons, but those seem to be like...
It will be tight.
Hello?
That's cool. That's very cool. But they seem to be like, maybe mass accelerator cannons, but like, or plasma projectors or something.
Nice work, kid.
But it's not like it has a big
But who the hell was that
spinal mounted mass accelerator, like Milky Way dreadnoughts.
Great. Where'd we end up anyway?
Sensors are damaged, but I think we're at the vault's coordinates.
You think?
Like, honestly, I'm pretty sure a Milky Way dreadnought, like
Gil, give it what you can. We're
like an
setting
Everest
down.
class, like an Everest class Systems Alliance dreadnought, could absolutely go toe to toe with a Ket dreadnought that size, because that's actually a relatively small ship by Mass Effect standards. It's not that
We're
big.
being contacted.
That's maybe the size of an Alliance
We have to
cruiser,
land.
like a smallish cruiser.
Open a comm.
Tov Jagalesto. Tov Jagalesto.
We're visitors from another galaxy. Our intentions are peaceful.
Av Naleseto. They've sent us a nav point.
Set us down. Yes. Ha, look at that. It's beautiful.
It's small, but yeah, it is.
We need in that vault.
Please, you're not really going out there on your own.
We can't afford a repeat of last time. I'm the Pathfinder. First contact is on me.
Most important thing ever. No pressure.
This is what it's all about, right? New worlds, new aliens. Wish me luck.
Alone and unarmed. Yeah, this will be fine.
Get the squall time, Yahal.
Thank you.
Hey, Hamdal goes.
Nathan Roa.
I'm Paran Shai, governor of Aya. We are the Angara.
Hello. I'm a Pathfinder with the Initiative.
Yes, you crossed dark space. I've heard of your journey, Joel. I have this in hand.
Ephra saw the ship come in and sent me to find out what's going on.
So, I kind of
He's a
wish
human from another galaxy.
there had been a little bit more first contact
Aya is
translation issues.
Protected. What do you want?
Like I said, I kind of like that it is foreign and it is a knife edge, almost hostile first contact situation. But at the same time, I wish it had been a little bit more of like there'd been a little bit more going on, especially maybe with Sam. Because this is the purpose of Sam, really, is things like learning and like AI learning, rapid learning. So Sam says something in the private channel, something like, "I'm constructing a database of their language," yada yada yada, something like that. And then at some point, like the language starts auto translating, something along those lines. If it had been just a little bit more than what we get here, that would have been fantastic. It's okay. It's fine. It's fair. But for a first contact situation, especially a linguistic first contact situation, they could have done a little bit more, especially with Sam right there. Sam would have been a really good resource to make this a cool situation.
We didn't know what we'd find here, to be honest. But I'm open to sharing what we know, if you are.
Honest? Honesty would be a good start. I'll inform Ephra. He'll be waiting for you in his office at the Resistance headquarters. I'll meet you there.
I will accompany you through our city. Your crew will stay on your ship. Follow me.
I was about to say, what's with the mid-noughties and good guy factions
Follow
being called
closely.
the Resistance?
Do not try to explore the city or interact with anyone. Ephra's guards will use force if necessary.
Understood. Is it okay to ask you questions?
I suppose.
Okay, hold on. I accidentally tracked the wrong thing. There we go.
If you're the governor, why do I need to see this Ephra?
He's leader of the Resistance.
What's that?
They fight the Ket and protect us.
Like I said, it's very strange calling a military organization like that the Resistance rather than like the Defense Force or something like that.
Levels of electrostatic energy in the Angara.
Put that away.
Oh.
Whoa! It's just a scanner.
Put it away now.
Okay.
Take it easy.
All
Am
right,
I
never
that
mind.
intimidating?
You're an outsider who invaded our home. We know nothing about you.
I'm not here to cause trouble.
Then keep moving.
Okay. Anyway, but come on now, let's be realistic. We all know exactly why, in approximately 2016, every good guy faction gets called the Resistance.
None of the local flora register in my data files. We've encountered an undiscovered ecosystem.
Cool.
Your city is beautiful.
Thank you.
It's
You're the first outsider to see it.
I'm honored.
Really like it. The architecture is very cool. It's very...
What happens if Ephra doesn't like me?
He won't. But you need to earn his trust.
He's responsible for everyone's safety.
It's very futuristic and Mediterranean.
You're a leader.
Trying to be.
Anyway, though, yeah.
This is the Resistance headquarters. Ephra is waiting inside.
I mean, this and Star Wars and things like that. Like, calling every good guy faction the Resistance around 2016, I mean,
You
come on.
shouldn't keep Ephra waiting.
It puts everything very much, once again, in this particular world, in our particular world, and it sets it within a particular time period in history, which is not very good for
They
storytelling.
are bullies, but this situation is now your fault. Don't get kicked out, Moran, not because of them.
But you're telling me to be weak.
No.
I am telling you to be strong through your cunning and heart. Okay? Hey.
It really is the best one in the Resistance.
I know.
Why doesn't he use an Ishare? One of the actual Angaran rifles.
Our experience with the Ket makes us naturally distrustful of all aliens.
That is a Ket rifle. It's odd that he uses that rather than an Angaran one. Because also, worth noting, the Angaran rifles, the Ishare is so much better. It is like the best sniper rifle there is, with the possible exception of the Black Widow, the Milky Way Black Widow.
We've had our own run-ins with the Ket.
Then you really do understand. When the Archon came to Helius, he demolished our sovereign state. Took what he wanted, as if we were nothing. Now, the Ket mercilessly abduct Angara. Often, we never see our people again. Come this way. Ephra is waiting.
Wait, the Ket kidnap you? Steal your people?
And the Resistance fights them every day. With everything we can.
Is it attrition? What are they after?
You should save your questions for Ephra.
Kadara be damned. I won't lose Vold.
Ephra, this is one of the aliens from the Milky Way. A Pathfinder.
Pathfinder. It's an aggressive move coming to Aya.
It wasn't meant that way. I have an ark full of desperate people counting on me to find them a home before they starve.
Of course, I feel for you and your people. So, Pathfinder, never mind how you even found us. Why are you here?
On a hostile planet we call Eos, I explored an ancient structure, a vault, and brought it back online. It stabilized that planet's environment.
Remnant. Recent intelligence supports that claim.
If I'm right, there's a vault on Aya that's different. I need to look inside.
You're right. There's a vault out there, but it was shut years ago and the entrance hidden. We can't help you.
The Moshai could. She's our most revered scientist and elder. She knows this vault.
But now the Ket have her, and our rescue attempts failed. She's lost to us. And you.
This actually is going to set us on the next path forward for next week, which means that we have a choice between two planets. We have Havarl? Yeah, Havarl or Vold. So, jungle planet or ice planet. I am leaning towards Havarl first. I don't know, though. We'll see. Let me know if in Discord or in the comments or on the Facebook or wherever, if you have a particular preference towards one or the other next. I do want to finish this conversation before wrapping up for tonight. That means we might go a couple of minutes over time, but that's okay. Let's see how this goes.
There must be another way.
After this conversation,
How can I
we'll wrap
convince
up,
you?
though.
Can I offer help?
Arrogant. I don't know you, let alone trust you. Why would I want your help?
Of course.
I mean, can try.
I feel. Ephra, what this alien says is extraordinary. The Moshai would want us to be brave and not let this chance pass.
Joel, you talk too much.
Let me assess this, alien. I'll be your eyes. I know you can spare me.
Go if you want. But when he tries to kill you, be prepared to strike first.
I'm Jal Amaderov. I'll be your envoy through Angaran space.
Thank you for trusting me.
I don't. But I can always kill you in your sleep.
Good to know.
Well, okay then. That was it. That's it's not quite the end of it, because I do need to get back to the
I've
Tempest and
organized
wrap
my
things up.
analysis of Aya. Shall I relay it to the Nexus?
Yeah.
Definitely.
I want to search around with the scanner. I might do that off stream, or I might do that the start of next time. But that is all the time we have. It is after midnight. So, like I said, that's all we've got for tonight. So, I'm going to wrap up here, chat with some people for next time, wrap up on Aya, and then we'll be ready to move on to one of the two next planets, that being either Vold or Havarl. Like I said, Vold is an ice planet, and it has the next major mission, that being involving the Moshai, this spiritual and scientific elder of the Angara. And then Havarl is a primarily Angaran world, a twilit jungle planet. Absolutely beautiful, one of the most gorgeous planets, although a bit of this game, albeit a bit smallish and claustrophobic as far as navigation goes. It's the only planet that you can't use the Nomad. In any case, I need to decide which one to do first. Maybe I'll think about this on my own. Maybe I'll look this up. Maybe I'll listen to you guys. If you have suggestions, I'm open to them. So that'll be for next week. Keep an eye open for some classroom lectures about the abolition of man. Those will be coming this week, presumably, assuming I don't have any wacky technical difficulties. But those should be up sometime late-ish, sometime throughout this week. So you can join in with the class, join in on the discussion, see how things are going with our classroom discussions. And then we will be moving on to some Machinary, some Ethica Mystica. After that, excuse me. So you may also wind up expecting some lectures for that sort of thing. So keep an eye out for that as well. Anyway, as for streams, I will be right back here next Monday, as usual, same time, same place, 9 p.m. Eastern, and I will be also continuing Kingdom Come Deliverance on Thursday, probably doing some more of the DLCs before starting a woman's lot, and then continuing the main story plot. So expect a few more weeks, at least, of Kingdom Come Deliverance, maybe a month or two, and then I'm thinking perhaps I will pick up Hogwarts Legacy after we are done with Kingdom Come Deliverance on Thursdays. So, if you would like to see me do that sooner rather than later, so right after Kingdom Come, before we have some interim stuff while I wait for a sale, if you'd like to help me offset the cost of that, I would be absolutely, endlessly grateful. If you would like to do so, you can donate right down there at ko-fi.com/Professor McCoy, or directly through PayPal, or just contact me directly and we can work something out. Or buy it for me on Steam or something like that. if you want to put the whole cost into it. Not that I would ask for such a thing. In any case, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for joining me over and over again. I greatly enjoy these streams. I hope you do as well. With that, thank you one more time for joining me. Good night, everybody. And remember, don't be safe, be well, and more importantly, be good. Good night.